You know, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of just embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it.
Allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club sipping Moet is you find me. The back of the club macking holes, my crew's behind me. Mad question asking, blunt passing, music blasting. But I just can't quit because one of these honeys Biggie got to creep with, sleep with, keep the ep a secret. Why not? Why blow up my spot? Cause we both got hot. Now check it. I got more Mac than Craig and in the bed. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to f*** needy. No need to be greedy. I got mad friends with Benzes. See notes by the layers. True fucking players. Jump in the Rover and come over. Tell your friends jump in the GS3. I got the chronic free. Most of these niggas think they be macking, but they be acting. Who they attracting with that line? What's your name? What's your sign? Soon as he buy that wine, I just creep up from behind and ask you what your interests are. Be with things to make you smile. What numbers to dial? You gon' be here for a while. I'm gon' call my crew. You gon' call your crew. We can rendezvous at the bar around 2. Plans to leave, throw the keys to seize. Put the truck up front and roll up the next brunch so we can steam on the way to the telly. Go fill my belly. A T-bone steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape. Conversate for a few, cause we gon' do what we came to do. Ain't that right, boo? Forget the telly, we just go to the crib and watch a movie in the jacuzzi, smoke L's while you do me. Imaginary ends is giving ends to my friends and it feels stupendous. Tremendous cream, fuck $1 and a dream. Still tote gas strapped with infrared beams. Chopping O's, smoking optimals, money holes and clothes, all a nigga knows. A foolish pleasure, whatever. I had to find the buried treasure, so grams I had to measure. However, living better now, coochie now. Drop top BMs, I'm the man, girl, fool.
You know, sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage. Just literally 20 seconds of just embarrassing bravery. And I promise you, something great will come of it.
For all the ladies in the place with style and grace, allow me to lace these lyrical douches in your bushes who rock grooves and make moves with all the mommies. The back of the club sipping Moet as you find me. The back of the club macking hoes, my crew's behind me. Mad question asking, blunt passing, music blasting. But I just can't quit because one of these honeys Biggie got to creep with, sleep with, keep the ep a secret. Why not? Why blow up my spot? Cause we both got hot. Now check it. I got more Mac than Craig and in the bed. Believe me, sweetie, I got enough to f needy. No need to be greedy. I got mad friends with Benzes. See notes by the layers. True fucking players. Jump in the Rover and come over. Tell your friends jump in the GS3. I got the karmic super tree.
Hey, hi, hello. What's up, internet? How's it going out there? I hope everyone's doing well and good. Hope you had a decent Monday. I'm so mad. I have like this eye twitch problem. I don't know. I think it's just from stress, honestly. It's like the only thing I've really been able to tie it to, but it's really annoying. It fucking fucks up my whole day, and it's hard to look at screens and stuff, which is why I haven't posted any shorts or anything. I haven't been able to edit because it won't stop twitching. It's annoying as hell. But I'm here now. At a decent time. At least. At least there's that. I have an MRI soon, so I need to get back on a normal person schedule, at least for the time being. I don't want to miss that. It's early in the morning. So, doing our best. Doing our best. I just wanted to do the Democracy Now! Interview with Judith Butler as far as updates on Gaza and such. It's just fucking abject horror. I have probably seen like too much on Twitter. Like, it's just horrifying. Uh, and the headlines about like, oh, the UN like food supply got looted. Like, yeah, they're starving. They are starving to death. So I've already seen reports of people getting sick from the water. You know, of course. You don't really like have the means to like distill water on the go. Like, very difficult. I mean, in reality, like, you can do it with like a few pots and like a lid, but what if you can't make a fire? You know, like, you have to like boil it. So I wrote my senator. He said the most horrible shit ever. It, like, outright said, like, oh, we need Israel for our national defense. So not only does Israel have the right to defend itself, but it has the right to defend us, too, somehow. Just went on to say some, like, fucking racist shit about Iran and whatever else. Blah, blah, blah. Al-Qaeda. Bullshit. I don't know what I expected, but, hey, fuck that guy. I'm probably, like, on a list, though. I did tell him he had blood on his hands. Not just because of this, but because of... his, like, was in the army, so... Oops. Whoops. I mean, I was probably already on a list, if we're being completely honest. You know? Said it before, and I'll say it again. Bop, bop, bop. And I do it again. Yeah, that's what I got going on. Starting to, like, clean up for moving and stuff. It probably is just gonna look a little bit like a mess for a while. But we'll figure it out. I gotta, like, pack up the garage, so I probably also won't be able to paint for a couple months. Which, you know, that's fine. I can't even, like, paint that much in the winter anyway, because it's cold as fuck. And my hands don't work, and it makes me mad. It's bracelets. Thank you. Thank you. I was gonna do a witch costume, but then I just didn't feel like it. So now I just have bracelets on. I was just talking about my fucking stupid eye twitch. It's returned. The return of the eye twitch. I think it's just stress related, honestly. That seems to be, like, the major trigger, at least. It happens sometimes when I'm, like, dehydrated, but I'm not. I don't think I'm dehydrated, at least. Yeah, I definitely need to insulate the shed and the space heaters. I don't know how much power runs out there, actually. Like, is it one outlet? I forgot to look. I don't know how that's gonna work. Stop being terminally online and it'll go away. I cannot stop. I cannot stop. I mean, the last couple days I was just kind of in bed, just listening to Hasan. I wasn't even looking at the screen. I can't even, like, look at Hasan chat anyway, which means I usually can't even look at the screen. Not very accessible. Yeah, like if I'm in his chat, it's just because I'm like putting a quick tech W and getting the fuck out. Something like that. Ever since he yelled at me, at least. Stay in Mari's chat. I miss Mari. I hope you're okay. Haven't seen anything since TwitchCon. Recently, no. It was like 2 years, maybe a year ago, something like that. It was I think I showed it to you. I yelled at him when he got COVID. I was like, it's kind of hard to feel bad for you. No. No, I just don't chat that much anymore. Although I swear he like reads Mari's chat sometimes. I swear to God. Everyone is sick, dude. Fucking everyone. Like, holy shit. Like, just thousands of people sick. Fucking Dan Clancy is sick. You would think they would learn, you know? Like, this has happened every year. Everyone goes to the con and then everyone's like, oh, what? Oh, I was sick? I got sick from TwitchCon? Who could have predicted this? I didn't do anything. I did not wear a mask. I got fucking vaccinated like 3 days before. Not just streamers. Mass protests and demos for Palestine. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Bits I've seen, it's the same. No masks, no distancing at all. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. It's, we're, like, rushing to, like, make better vaccines. So, like, I don't know. It's not, like, the best protection it could be. So, like, even a lot of vaccinated people are getting sick. I mean, they still have better outcomes, but, like, it's just, you should cover your face at a protest anyway. You know what I mean? Just for identity reasons. When will the people learn? Yeah, I probably, like, should take a break from Twitter, though, because, like, holy shit. It's, like, it's been kind of unusable the past few days. So many alerts, it's crazy. Any science consensus on masks? Yeah, there is. I didn't really look that hard into it. Does it help? Does 6 foot distance help? Yes and yes. I'm always gonna defer to homozygo with any science question. He's very nice. I'll shout him out right now. Homo, the goat. He's the goat. He's a biologist doing science stuff. Doing a lot of, like, outreach shit. But yeah, no, he's literally always telling everyone to wear masks. And, like, the community is full of people who mask and don't get sick, you know? Like, it's, I don't know. Maybe a small sample, but, like, it's rare that someone comes in and is like, oh, I got sick. The last person that got sick was because their caretaker was sick and didn't wear a mask. But, like, I'm sure he can give you better data on that. On my post. Oh yeah, I replied. You read my message. No, you. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I did not expect that. I don't like to do discourse like that. I especially don't like to like dogpile on someone that's like already, you know, the target of hostwit or whatever. But like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Just like constantly punching left. Like, I feel like it's just not good. I talk a lot of shit on like Ethan and shit, but like, he's to my right, like politically, you know. So like, when I do it to Ethan, like I'm trying to like pull his audience over in a way that's like maybe not as gentle as it could be, but like I don't know. I guess maybe it's also like I'm projecting, like I should think more about criticizing Republicans more, but like I feel like I'm doing that just all the time. Like all the time. Or I'm talking shit on Joe Biden or some shit. I don't know, man. Gamified for outrage now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, has there ever been a lot of honest discourse on Twitter? That's true. I don't want to be, like, just dunking, though. You know? Like, I just want to write my little sentences. Talk solutions and not shit at all. Interesting. Leave specific people out of it. Yeah. How to get solutions. You do that, taking people out of it, even if they are trending. Yeah, I guess. You know, be ruthless to institutions, be kind to people, type beat. I don't know. I feel like so many people are like just brain broken and need like they need a hook. I don't know how to make just like broad systemic analysis catchy. Start local, yeah. Drew, welcome in. Yeah, much to think about. Of hating studio from the other side, post like that one. Yeah. That's true. I don't know. It's weird, like it's something like that, like a tweet, it just like kind of goes out into the ether. Like there's like 4 bookmarks, I think, and I'm like, who are you? Who are you and why are you doing this? I'm really just scared that Clara's gonna talk about me. I just don't want that to happen. I take it all back. I love you, Keppels. Keppel Wiggle. Retweets, 3K likes, yeah. Yeah, and it seems to like keep going, which is strange. I haven't had that really happen. And like, why couldn't it have been like one of my 30 tweets on Palestine? God damn it. So annoying. Be scared to stand up to people on your side, and then some topics, everyone needs to be checked at points. Yeah. You know, like, I do a lot of, like, fact-checking. Maybe I should apply to be a community noteser. Just do it. Just do it in the notes. Is it just anybody? How do they decide who does that? That's gonna fuck monetization now. Oh, yeah, it's not eligible if it gets noted. Yeah, I feel like it's also, that's gonna get abused, you know? People are gonna, like, note things that they want demonetized rather than, like, what should be checked factually. There's 100K people that do it? Holy shit. What? How is it checked for accuracy? If anyone, like, can just apply? I do think that's kind of fun, but it's also like kind of like time consuming. Trying to fact check something that spreads like wildfire. You have to go through like 1,000 links to find the original. Internet police. It is kind of like a hall monitor position. I don't want to be a narc. True. Fucking ACAB. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna do what he says, which is like what he wants it to, like, disincentivize spreading fake news for clicks or something like that. I forget how he phrased it. Yeah. Well, I guess we should get into this. The Judith Butler interview. I'm gonna have to censor probably some of it, at least, but I hope you all are well. Trigger warning for violent graphic imagery. I'm gonna, like I said, try to censor as we go, but wait.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh. We continue with part 2 of our conversation on Gaza with the philosopher and gender studies scholar.
Wait. I didn't know there was a part 1. I'm sorry. Hold on. Gotta be it.
Now.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
We're continuing our conversation on Israel's bombardment of Gaza. We're joined now by the philosopher and gender studies scholar Judith Butler, who's one of dozens of Jewish writers and artists who recently signed an open letter to President Biden calling for an immediate ceasefire. Judith Butler is the author of numerous books, including The Force of Nonviolence, An Ethico-Political Bind, and Parting Ways, Jewishness and the Critique of Zionism. Their recent piece for the London Review of Books is headlined The Compass of Mourning. Judith Butler joins us today from Paris. They are distinguished professor in the graduate school at the University of Berkeley and the Hannah Arendt Chair at the European Graduate School. They're also on the advisory board of the Jewish Voice for Peace. Welcome to Democracy Now!, Professor Butler. If you could respond, we were just speaking to Dr. Ashrawi, who said that Palestinians have, quote, been refused the recognition of our own humanity and rights. You've written extensively on the way in which different lives are valued differently.
Yes, well, let me simply say that everyone on this show who you have interviewed in Palestine has used the word genocide. And I think we need to take this word quite seriously because it does describe the situation in which a population is targeted, not just the military part, but the civilian part, and bombarded, dislocated forcibly, and plans are being made for relocation or the absolute razing of Gaza itself. So, as you know,
yeah, and you can see from satellite images, it is being completely fucking razed.
there are legal groups like the Center for Constitutional Rights that has published a 40-page study on why it is correct to call what is happening to Palestinians now genocide. And other groups are studying international law and showing that genocide is not, it doesn't always look like the Nazi regime, but it can be the systematic undercutting of the livelihood, the health, the well-being, and the capacity to persist. This is exactly what is happening. Why it is that the U.S. media, for the most part, and the U.S. government has decided to be complicit with genocidal crimes is a major question. It is an alarming fact. And Hanan Ashrawi is right to say that it's not just that they're giving ideological support or spin doctors to say that Israeli genocidal violence is justified. They are actually giving weapons and support and counsel in order to effect this genocidal set of policies. So as far as I'm concerned, the Palestinians have been labeled as ungrievable. That is to say, they're not a group of people whose lives are being considered as worthy of value, of persisting, of flourishing in this world. If they are lost, it is not considered to be a true loss because they are not just less than human, surely that, but not just less than human, but a threat to what the idea of the human is that is being defended by Zionist politics shared by Israel and the U.S. and many Western powers. So I think once we see these caricatures taking hold in public discourse, all Palestinians are Hamas, or Hamas is terrorist rather than, say, an armed resistance struggle, or Israeli violence is morally justified. And
yeah, like, it's all about perspective, right? Like, to many parts of the world, American troops are terrorists. You know what I mean? It's all about where you're standing from. And like, of course people will resist an occupying force that is like destroying their homes, their families, their friends, like.
And Palestinian violence is barbaric. Well, why wouldn't it be right to describe the bombardment of people in their homes and in their hospitals and in their schools, or as they are fleeing according to Israeli directives? Why isn't that barbaric? I mean, what we are seeing is not just the killing of Palestinian civilian lives as a casualty of war, a kind of byproduct. These civilians are targeted. So the targeting of civilians who belong to a particular group, ethnic, racially defined, that is a genocidal practice. That is what we are seeing. And we should all be standing up and objecting and calling for an end to genocide. It's true. I signed several petitions, one of which calls for an immediate ceasefire. That's the minimum. But the fact is that the violence that we're seeing belongs to a long-standing violence, 75-year-old violence that has been characterized by systematic dislocation, killing, imprisonment, detention, stolen land.
Yeah, I just read a piece that talked about how when when Israel started to bombard Gaza, there were Gazan civilians who were on a day pass to do day labor, and nobody has heard from them since.
Damaged lives. We actually need a much fuller political solution to the situation until Palestine is free and people in Palestine are able to live as citizens or political actors in a world that they help to craft. They become self-governing, they belong to a democracy. We will continue to see violence. We will continue to see this structural violence producing this kind of resistance. So I hope
Butler,
we don't, in the end, put a Band-Aid. Yeah.
Let me ask you, the Israeli
Please.
politician Moshe Feiglin called for a Dresden on Gaza, referring to the World War II firebombing of the German city of Dresden, killing some 25,000
Yes.
people, a storm of fire in all of Gaza. Naftali Bennett, the former prime minister, when asked about the killing of Israeli civilians of more than 1,400 people on October 7th, responded to the Sky anchor saying, "Are you seriously talking about Palestinian civilians? We just have 45 seconds, but your response."
Well, I think that one of the problems is that Palestinian civilians are not recognized as such. In other words, when you've accomplished rhetorically and through the media the identification of Palestine with terrorism and all Palestinians with terrorism, barbarism, and animality, then there are no civilians in the imaginary of those who are doing violence to them.
We want to
And
thank.
that's false, and it has to be opposed. Thank you.
We want to thank you for being with us. We're going to continue with part 2 of our discussion and post it at democracynow.org. Judith Butler is a philosopher, political commentator, and gender studies scholar, distinguished professor in the graduate school at University of California, Berkeley, and the Hannah Arendt Chair at the European Graduate School on the advisory board of Judith Butler, who's one of dozens of Jewish writers and artists who recently signed an open letter to President Biden calling for an immediate ceasefire. Among those who signed the letter were formerly Eve Ensler, Masha Gessen, and the playwright Tony Kushner.
Judith Butler is author of numerous books.
V for Vendetta? Fuck.
Books including The Force of Nonviolence, An Ethical Political Bind, and Parting Ways, Jewishness and the Critique of Zionism. Their recent piece for the London Review of Books is headlined The Compass of Mourning. Judith Butler joins us today from Paris. They are distinguished professor in the Graduate School at the University of California, Berkeley, and the Hannah Arendt Chair at the European Graduate School. They also serve on the advisory board of Jewish Voice for Peace. Welcome to Democracy Now!, Professor Butler. I'd like to ask first about the open letter that you signed along with other Jewish writers and scholars urging President...
Oh yeah, Jewish Voice for Peace is the org that went into Grand Central Station and has been doing a bunch of marches across the country.
President Biden to support a ceasefire in Gaza. I'll just quote a line from the letter which says, quote, "We condemn attacks on Israeli and Palestinian civilians. We believe it is possible and in fact necessary to condemn Hamas's actions and acknowledge the historical and ongoing oppression of the Palestinians. We believe it's possible and necessary to condemn Hamas's attack and take a stand against the collective punishment."
Yeah, if you're going to condemn Hamas, you
Of
also
Gazans.
have to condemn Israel and the IDF for installing Hamas.
That is unfolding and accelerating as we write. So, Professor Butler, could you, talk about that? I mean, why it seems so self-evident, of course, that one can condemn what Hamas did and simultaneously oppose this brutal, ongoing assault on Gaza?
Well, it seems to me that one can be opposed and should be opposed to the killing of civilians. And that's a basic ethical precept of war. So it's only logical to say that one objects to the killing of civilians on both sides. I think that what is problematic is how often many people who understand themselves as Zionists have said that the Hamas attacks justify the present response on the part of the Israeli military. But as we see, the military powers are radically asymmetrical, and this is not a conflict where, both sides are at fault in some equal way. We have to understand the history of the violence that has been inflicted against Palestine, including Gaza. And I would include, as part of that violence, the deprivation of the people of drinking water, of health care, of basic foods, and electricity. That, in other words,
So much blood.
The very conditions of life itself have been attacked systematically. So I think that I can't speak for all of the people who signed that letter, but as Jews, we do say, not in our name, this is what the Israeli state is doing, what the Israeli military forces are doing, does not represent us. It doesn't represent our values. And because, as I've said, I think what we're seeing is the implementation of a genocidal plan, according to international legal definitions of genocide. As Jews, it is imperative ethically, politically, to speak out against genocide, just as it is to speak out against the production of a new class of refugees, or the intensification of refugee status for so many Palestinians who have, in some cases, been refugees since 1948. Their families have. So that's, I think, the basic thinking behind that petition.
Professor Butler, I wanted to turn to John Kirby, the spokesperson for the National Security Council, who was speaking this week at a White House press briefing.
This is war. It is combat. It is bloody. It is ugly, and it's going to be messy.
No, it's a genocide, bro. I don't know if y'all have seen the snap map comparisons between, what's going on in Israel, what's going on in Gaza. It's not comparable. People are just living their lives in Israel. They're going to work and dinner and whatever the fuck they want to do. Not the same for anyone in Gaza or the West Bank.
And innocent civilians are going to be hurt going forward. I wish I could tell you something different. I wish that wasn't going to happen. But it is.
Do you, though?
Going to happen.
So the killing of civilians is just going to happen. Judith Butler, if you could respond also as a Jewish professor for those in the Israeli government, like Naftali Bennett, who have said, are you seriously talking about Palestinian civilians?
I don't want it to happen. It just has to. We just have to kill 2 million people. Sorry, it's just gonna happen. You can't just say that.
That if you are to raise your concerns about Palestinians, that it somehow minimizes what happened on October 7th, the killing of 1,400 Israelis, the worst mass killing of Jews since the Holocaust.
So when the national security spokesperson claims that it's just too bad that civilians will lose their lives in Gaza, and that he wishes that it were not the case, he is in fact lying. Civilians are targeted, and I think we can also say that one of the things that is happening right now is that, and it has been happening for some time, is that the Israeli state claims that all these civilian targets it hits are shields for military installations.
You can never blow up a hospital. You can never blow up hospitals. That's like never okay. Like even if there are terrorists in the vicinity or whatever the fuck the case may be, you still can't do that.
Installations. Well, that's a very convenient explanation, but it doesn't explain the bombing of homes, the bombing and the targeting and bombing of people as they are fleeing the north to the south. So I think that this is bad faith at best and a brutal lie, if we're to be honest. I think as well that there are, unfortunately, some...
You have to think also like the long-term ramifications, even for the people who do manage to survive. You know, like the firefighters who went to save people on 9/11 or try to find people in the rubble, they all got fucking cancer, or, you know, like some fucking long-term like emphysema or whatever the fuck long-term shit that they had to deal with, and that was from one building. One. I mean, I guess two, but fucking the shit is so bad, like the cement dust and shit, like whatever else maybe exploded.
Jewish groups and Zionist groups that care fully or exclusively or primarily about Jewish life, and their position is that the destruction of Jewish life is the worst possible thing in the world, and it is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But Jewish life is no more valuable than Palestinian life. And I think that you might find a number of people who agree with that in the abstract, but they take the massive targeting the slaughter campaign against Gaza as justifiable because no amount of violence can possibly compensate for their sense of injury. I would just add that it is extremely difficult to get the media and the press to offer graphic and detailed descriptions of what the suffering is in Gaza. We hear much more, say, in the New York Times about Israeli lives and the losses they've endured, but we never get the same kind of coverage of Palestine. We sometimes get numbers, and as you've seen, those numbers could be disputed even by Biden, even though they're supplied by United Nations agencies.
Yeah, I can't believe the UN. Oh my god. Fucking Biden, dude. Such a useless fucking oath. It's a bag of bones.
Or respectable agencies on the ground. So there are all kinds of ways of minimizing and derealizing, that is to say, making fake or making illusory Palestinian deaths. And I think our job as scholars, activists, people in journalism is to bring that into the open and make these lives and these deaths meaningful for the greater public.
Professor Butler, I'd like to ask about your own work. You've written extensively on the question of why certain lives are valued more than others. If you could speak specifically about how this is reflected, not only in the comments we just heard from John Kirby, but also in media coverage, mainstream media coverage of the war here in the U.S. I'll just quote from your 2009 work, Frames of War, When is Life Grievable? In the book you write, quote, "When we take our moral horror to be a sign of our humanity, we fail to note that the humanity in question is in fact implicitly divided between those for whom we feel urgent and unreasoned concern and those whose lives and deaths simply do not touch us or do not appear as lives at all." So if you
Should have voted Trump. Oh my God. Yeah, never would have let Israel invade. Sure. Never would have let Ukraine war happen either. Yeah, he said he could end Ukraine in a day, like end the war in Ukraine in a single day. He would just have to call up Putin and tell him what's up. I should have known. I shouldn't know. MAGA brother. No, in fact, Trump has already been truthing out about how he wants to also level Gaza. So it would happen even faster, I think, with Trump, unfortunately.
You could, Professor Butler, speak about this and how it's manifest in particular, as you were talking about earlier in the New York Times, in the U.S.
Oh, yeah. Also, Trump straight up tweeted like a racist-ass like cartoon. Like super racist. I don't even like want to describe it. It's like gross.
Media. And you're in Paris at the moment, so you could perhaps also address this as it's reflected in the European media.
Well, first of all, let's just state what I take to be obvious and true, which is that the settler colonial framework of Israel's occupation of Palestine is a racist one, and Palestinians are figured as less than human. They're among the non-Europeans. They're obviously Jewish non-Europeans as well, but they are racialized and they are treated as less than human. So the loss of those lives is not marked and acknowledged as a loss. Of course, it is within Palestine. I mean, there are always ways of gathering in mourning and carrying the dead and honoring the dead. So we're talking only from the point of view of those who believe that the elimination of Palestinian lives or the constant damaging of Palestinian lives is somehow justified. They're not seeing those lives as human lives according to the idea of the human they have. And we've seen this when Netanyahu calls them animals, or others call them barbaric, or let's keep it
Classic fucking Nazi shit.
in mind when they are understood to be just a strategic problem. Oh, here's this population that has to be managed. Maybe it can be deported. So, you know, when someone like when someone from the Israeli government talks about relocating Palestinians to Sinai, making them into an Egyptian problem, investigating housing that's available outside of Cairo, they are actually talking about deporting people as if they're goods or chattel, as if they have the right to do so, as if they own these people, or that these people are somehow movable goods. This is all.
Yeah, and that, like, you have the right to tell them, go there, and you probably will never have the right to return. It's insane.
Already not just a radical dehumanization, but it makes possible the brutal treatment, the deportation and the killing that is in in play right now. And I think we're not just seeing random acts of bombardment. We're seeing a plan unfold. And unless it's interrupted by the U.S. and other major powers, it will be devastating. Of course, in Europe,
It is already devastating. I mean, I don't know when they recorded this or whatever, but
and in Paris, there was, for a time, an interdiction against supporting Palestine through public protest. And luckily, the
thanks for the follow.
Constitutional Court here struck that executive decision down, and at least 20,000 people were on the street just last weekend. And of course, we're seeing it more and more in U.S. academic circles, but also in European ones. Unless people condemn Hamas, they are not considered acceptable. They're considered to be anti-Semitic. Unless people support Israel unequivocally, they are understood to be anti-Semitic or align with terrorism. And of course, as soon as that happens, those who want to object publicly or at their universities to the injustice that's being committed risk losing support, losing their jobs, becoming stigmatized. I know academics who...
Yeah, it's similar to like saying like, oh, like if you're anti-Christian, then you're anti-American. It's like the same ethno-state fascist bullshit. Like, it's just, I don't know. Oh God, goddamn America.
Been suspended here and in Switzerland. I know certainly academics in Germany who try to speak out, who are then tarred with the accusation of being anti-Semitic. It's not anti-Semitic to criticize the state of Israel if the state of Israel is a settler colonial state that's doing violence of an extraordinary kind. One objects to violence, one objects to settler colonial arrangements, one objects to injustice. Indeed, as a Jew, you're obligated to object to injustice. You would not be a good Jew if you were not objecting to injustice. So to be called anti-Semitic, and I have been called that for years by those who oppose me, because I stand for values that are also Jewish values, shared values, but Jewish values too, is simply appalling.
And what happened to you in Bern?
Yeah.
In fact,
It's like Michael Brooks always said, my Jewish values teach me to oppose apartheid. Like, you cannot reconcile Jewish values with doing an apartheid.
thought we were going to be interviewing you in Switzerland, but you had a talk canceled.
Well, I canceled my own talk because I saw that speaking at the University of Bern under these conditions would have produced a controversy and could have possibly hurt my hosts and their department. But it is true that there are certain places where people who are clearly anti-Zionist or who support the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, which I do, that there are protests, that there are efforts to censor, there are efforts to take away forms of recognition or to block the gate. I mean, this is only intensifying on U.S. campuses. And of course, we need to protect the right of assembly and protest and demonstration. To be in solidarity with Palestine is not necessarily to agree with all the military actions of Hamas, but it is to stand with the people who are being targeted in a genocidal manner.
Professor Butler, If you could also speak about what you think a possible resolution to the present crisis is, also in the context of your 2020 book, The Force of Nonviolence and Ethico-Political Bind, how is it that we take your injunction, your urging of nonviolence, and of course it's a complicated position that you take, to understand how this situation could potentially come to an end?
Well, I do think, first of all, a ceasefire is immediately necessary. But then I think there will be no resolution unless Gazans are allowed to return to their homes and to rebuild them and to undertake the mourning and the living that is theirs to do. I think the occupation has to come to an end, and I include the siege of Gaza as part of the occupation. It's sometimes said that, Gaza is no longer occupied, that the occupation ended in 2005. That's not true. It may be that troops pulled back, but every bit of that border, except perhaps the Rafah Gate, is patrolled and controlled by Israeli state authorities. And that means that goods and people can't come and go without Israeli authority. So there's no political autonomy to speak of under conditions such as those. But I also think that the kind of deportations we're seeing right now, they happened in 1948 when the Nakba began. The Nakba is not just a single event that happened in 1948.
Yeah, they're definitely calling this like a continuation of the Nakba.
It is an ongoing condition. So the violence we see now, the killing, the massacre, the dislocation, is a continuation of the Nakba. It is perhaps its most graphic moment in the present, but we should not be imagining that, if we solve this particular conflict now, we will have gotten to the root of the problem. The root of the problem involves finding a way for Palestinians to have full power of self-determination, to live in a democratic society, for dispossession to come to an end, for stolen lands to be returned or acknowledged or...
Yeah, Israel cannot call itself the only democracy in the Middle East while it's doing an apartheid and genocide. That's not democratic.
For reparation to be given, and also a right of return for a lot of people who have been forced to leave under terrible circumstances.
Judith Butler, we want to thank you very much for being with us. Philosopher, political commentator, gender studies scholar, distinguished professor in the Graduate School at University of California, Berkeley, and the Hannah Arendt Chair at the European Graduate School on the Advisory Board of Jewish Voice for Peace. Since we have 2 minutes on the satellite left, that title of the Hannah Arendt School, if you could say where you think Hannah Arendt would stand today.
Well, there are different parts of Hannah Arendt, but I would say that she was very smart in 1948 when she wrote that basing the state of Israel on the principle of Jewish sovereignty is a terrible mistake, and that it would produce conflict of a military character for decades to come. She was arguing for a binational structure, a pluralistic structure where Jews and Palestinians could cohabit the land, where there would be some form of equality. I'm not sure her plan was totally worked out. It seemed to be derived from Martin Buber to a certain degree. But she did think that no state could be based on an ethnic or religious form of sovereignty.
Ethno-religious state's bad. Yes. It's pretty simple.
Without producing displacement for all the people who don't belong to that religion, that ethnicity. So she did she did predict that Israel would produce a massive class of refugees and that it would be mired in conflict for years to come. And it's also why I think we have to remember the right of return. We will not get to the root of the problem unless we understand the millions of Palestinians whose families have been living in
Yeah, and if Jewish people have the right to return, then so should Palestinians. You know what I mean? Like, if it's holy land for all three Abrahamic religions, then it has to remain accessible to all religions, all people.
Forced exile for all these years and give them some acknowledgement, some reparation, some way of honoring the right of return.
Thank you so much. To see part one of our conversation with the professor at University of California, Berkeley, we want to urge you to go to Democracy.
That was good. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Thanks for holding the door, Jim. Mr. President, how much wood can a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
The charge is falsifying business records.
I will get Trump.
It's felony criminal conduct.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
The charge is falsifying business records.
They came up with a new one.
It's felony criminal conduct.
Indicting the 45th president. I never thought anything like this could happen.
Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned.
This fake case was brought only to interfere with the upcoming 2024 election, and it should be dropped immediately. Everybody was in shock. Can't even believe it. Who would think that that could happen today? But they did it anyway. So here we are now. It's where we were today. But now we're there. Spend time there today.
The charge is falsifying business records.
I will get Trump.
It's felony criminal conduct.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
The charge is falsifying business records.
They came up with a new one.
It's felony criminal conduct.
Indicting the 45th president. Charging a former president of the United States for the first time. There is no crime. The most embarrassing time. President Trump is being treated very unfairly. How about that? Every single pundit and legal analyst said there is no case. What is fueling my soul right now is Trump. I will get Trump. What is fueling my soul right now is Trump.
The charge is falsifying business records.
I will get Trump.
It's felony criminal conduct.
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
The charge is falsifying business records.
They came up with a new one.
It's felony criminal conduct.
Indicting the 45th president.
Now listen, if you have not subscribed to a YouTube channel, do it right now. Do it today. And all you have to do is click the big red subscribe button on the YouTube channel.
Father of lies, come in disguise. Your cum won't last. There's a snake in my ass. The cum father's secret stash. Come stomp me flat. I'm going to fuck your dad. Coming high into the morning sky. Vape come from my bum till I die. Watching Arthur with a cock in my ass. Riding hard, eating ass masterclass. Sacred cum blade, the fuckling crusade. Fatal cum theft, give me cum or give me death. Elon's Musk, Jesus crust. Stealing donations from the cum czar's trust. A cum smoothie, gulp smoothly. Consume the cum chalice. Fuck everyone named Alex. David Hater, cum crusader. The holy cum wars. Razor blade masturbator. Margaret Thatcher, the cum snatcher. Father drowned, go down on that cum clown. Prolapse pounding, toothpick sounding. Cum baking, my nipple pussy is aching. Cum fooler, semen drooler. Forbidden cum spice, your shitbox was nice. Life is a cake. cage, and death is the key. All your cum are belong to me. Normalize crying over spilt cum, making cum angels with my son. I fucked a fairy in half. How many holes does a human have? My butt and cunny are in agony. Castration in the sky, your penis will fly. Scrotal chambers, semen sailors. Mommy's cum tax, grind my balls on an axe. Cum scented candle, cum broiled eggs. Cum Christ consciousness, third eye, cum spy. Cum squote sailboat, semen speed racer. Off-road, cum chode, my uterus came out. Cum treasurer, dick measurer. Irresponsible manager of cum. A cum slave, back from the grave. The price for breaking a cum oath. James Hector, cum collector. I tripped in the cum keeper's crypt. Cum feeder, moist meter. Sans undertale, the cum reaper. Fucking a skeleton, right in the pussy. The dark souls of cum. Cum framed and cum blamed. Cum drowning awareness day. Brewing cum fuel after school. Your nipples are crunchy. The tragic cum sponge. Your cum is fading. Sweep up the cum flakes, Joan.
So glad the Abrahamic religions are allowed to thrive still. Yeah. I mean, people they like the comfort of it. You know what I mean? Yep, come emoji for the song. Oh, is there yep, come? I always did yep, and then another come thing.
I'm your 5G emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. 5G emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. The rap game, George Soros, motherfucker. Daddy Marba, yeah, motherfucker. I'm a walking virus. I got the meow and my Osiris. I'ma replace you and your mom. Mickey D Big Macs made out of humans. Oh God, I got a theory. Post it on the Twitter, make everybody leery. Oh no, I be hungry like me Hillary. No, she tastes funky. Bill Gates, got the point. Microchip me till I go insane. 5G emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. 5G emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. Cell phone tower, transmit frequency. 2023 nanobot technology. I got theories with no sources. Don't fuck with me.
Awesome.
Cell phone tower, transmit frequency. 2023 nanobot technology. I got theories with no sources. Don't fuck with me, bitch. 5G emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your
Look, we've all heard about the Salem witch trial.
Go juice that up. It just came out today, I think, but Ollie's dope.
But did you know that there were werewolf trials in Europe? I know. And what if I told you one of the main reasons vampires became a thing was because of inbred European royalty? Oh, and zombies? Look, they're not as new as you think. They have a rich history that goes all the way back to the transatlantic slave trade. Yeah, weren't expecting that one, were you? So get out that bag of candy corn and pop that popcorn because today's episode is all about monsters. I know, I love them. I mean, why do we love them? Why do we hate them? And most importantly, like, why can't we seem to get enough?
And why do they turn us on? At least according to Jordan Peterson.
Hi friends, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. My name is Bailey Sarian, and I'd like to welcome you to my podcast, Dark History. If you're new here, look, here we believe history doesn't have to be boring. I mean, yeah, it might be tragic, it might be happy, but either way, it's our dark history. So all you have to do is sit back, relax, and just let me ramble and tell you about this hot, juicy history goss, because it's juicy, okay? So look, it's Halloween time, and who doesn't love Halloween? It's the only time of year when it's socially acceptable to have a house full of spider webs and graves on your front lawn. I mean, any other time of the year, someone's calling the police, but not in October, baby. Yeah. So just leave them out on the lawn instead of burying them in your backyard, you know? Now, I've been wanting to look into today's topic for a minute, but I had to wait for the right time, or like the right excuse, really. And hey, it's October, it's Halloween, so today actually makes sense, doesn't it? So today, we are talking about monsters. Wow. I mean, where the hell did they come from, you know? Why are they so specific sometimes? And how did these weird-ass creatures come up again in different societies all across the world, but all throughout time? We make movies about them over and over again. I mean, we even dress up like them every year on Halloween or like for that Halloween party. And still, we never get tired of them, right? Well, today we are going to get to the bottom of it. We're talking about werewolves first because Paul is dying to know more. He loves werewolves. He wants to be one so bad. Not a skeleton. I don't know. Dream big. Werewolves. What is it? Well, they are people who turn into wolves at night, usually under a full moon, which is like really romantic. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's a werewolf. Thank you. So werewolf legends have existed in some shape or form for over 1,000 years, which means werewolves have been terrorizing children's dreams since before paper and pens even existed. I know. Paper? How far back does paper go? We gotta do a dark history on paper because I never even thought about it until right this second. Take note. Thank you. Did you write that down? Great. So werewolves, they first show up in ancient literature between 2100 and 1200 BC in a story called The Epic of Gilgamesh. By the 400s BC, yeah, shout out to 400s, there were like these tales about this Russian tribe called the Nuri. And like word on the street
Have a good shower.
Was that these men in this tribe, they could actually turn themselves, or they could actually turn into wolves a few days out of the year. Yes, only a few days they could be like, I want to be a wolf today. And they would. It also kind of sounds like Animorphs. Remember that book as a kid with those covers where it was like a normal person and then they would turn into like an animal? It was so random. That's what it reminds me of. Great. So then, as Christianity starts spreading around Europe, belief in werewolves starts being labeled as sinful and pagan. Like the church didn't like that. This idea that someone other than God could physically transform themselves from one thing into another, you know? Like no one should do that, only God should do that. In the 1500s, there is a huge rise in witchcraft. At this time, people are super paranoid. Everybody's making wild accusations towards one another. Like neighbors would be accusing other neighbors of cutting off their penis and like doing magic spells with them. Yeah, with the penis. I don't know.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? That's a crazy kind of spell, yo. What kind of spell requires a dick? What?
Also, there was a lot of people like burning at the stake. Times were tough. Times were very tough. They were bored. And basically, if the
they loved burning people at the stake. They just found whatever reason.
Church was declaring that witches were real, then they have to admit that werewolves were real too. So they did. So just like with witches, people associated werewolves with the devil. The church declared that only God could physically transform something, so it was believed that anyone suspected of being a werewolf had made some sort of deal with the devil. I know. Shit. Yep. Paul. One of the first werewolf trials happened in France, and it became known as the Poligny trial. It all started on a dark night in 1501 in Poligny, France. There had been a terrible storm that day, and a farmer named Pierre Birgo was looking for his sheep, which had all gotten lost during a storm. In the woods, according to Pierre, this is when he was approached by 3 men on horseback, and they were wearing all black cloaks. If someone shows up wearing a cloak, look the other way and run, because no one has anything good to do or say with the black cloak. So these guys, they ask him about his sheep. They're like, where are you?
Man, I once went down to the river and I saw a bunch of people wearing black cloaks, in the river. They were in the middle of the river, like in a circle. And they ran off once we got there. And it was super fucking weird.
Sheep. And one of the men promised Pierre that 3 things would happen. 1, that he would find all of his lost sheep. And 2, that he would be protected and never have any more troubles. And 3, that he would be given money. In exchange, Pierre would have to pledge to, quote, serve the man's master and meet with the man again in 5 days. So Pierre was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? He wants his sheep back. His sheep are missing, and that's how he makes money, right? I mean, it does sound a little vague, but whatever, I'm in. And then boof. Immediately after he says yes, Pierre finds all of his lost sheep. Wow, I know. So 5 days later, Pierre goes to meet with this mysterious man in the black cloak. And he learns that this guy, his name is Moiset, and that he was a servant of the devil. I know. Wow. Small world, huh? So Pierre is like, he's like, oh shit, I'm in a pickle. But a deal is a deal, it's too late. So he swears allegiance to the devil. He had to. I don't know. And also, on top of that, he renounces Christianity forever. Peace out. I'm into the devil now. So according to Pierre, shit sucks because he kissed the mysterious man's left hand, which he described as black and ice cold as that of a corpse. I don't know why he's kissing it, but he did. I think that's how you seal the deal. Whatever. But Pierre goes on to serve the devil for 2 years. And just as the man promised, Pierre's flock of sheep was protected. He had good fortune. But deep down, Pierre's a really good Christian man. So he's like, shit, I need to go back to church. I kind of miss that shit. So he goes back to church. He's like, I'm gonna, yay, church. And then he's approached by another mysterious man. His name was Michel Verdun. Don't know who he is, but he persuaded Pierre to return to the devil, telling Pierre that the devil would give him even more money, only if he came with him into the woods.
Never make a deal with the devil. That's what they say.
I know. Sounds like one of those things they teach you in school. If someone offers you money, but you have to follow them into the woods, maybe don't go. I don't think anything good is going to happen there, but we're not Pierre. And right. Pierre likes money, I guess. So Pierre follows Michel into the woods. They come across this ceremony in the woods, right? So then all of a sudden, this Michel guy, he turns into a werewolf. And Pierre, for good reason, loses his absolute mind because what the fuck is going on, So later on, Pierre goes to trial and he shares his experience during this trial. Quote, in a wood, we met with many others whom I did not recognize. We danced, and each had in his or her hand a green taper with a blue flame. Still, under the delusion that I should obtain money, Michelle persuaded me to dance. And in order to do this, after I had stripped myself, he smeared me with a salve, and I believed myself then to be transformed into a wolf. I was at first somewhat horrified at my 4 wolf's feet and the fur with which I was covered all at once. But I found that I could now travel with the speed of the wind.
Wicked.
End quote. Sounds like a party, man.
Yeah, wicked. Would. You know, if you can run super fast, I would deal with being super hairy. You know what I mean? Sure.
I'm in. What kind of drugs? Acid? Sounds like it. Well, according to Pierre, he spent 2 hours as a werewolf before Michelle rubbed him down with that magical ointment, and then boof, he became a human again. And then once Pierre experienced this transformation, I mean, I guess he just could not stop. He really liked it.
Hooked.
He and Michelle would go out constantly as werewolves
Hooked on the Sid.
and terrorize the community. Fun. One day, a man from the church is passing through this area, and out of nowhere, he's attacked by a wolf. He actually fights the wolf off and apparently injures the wolf so he can get away. Well, this man decides to kind of figure out where this wolf went and follows a little blood trail to see where that leads him to the injured wolf. And it leads him straight to Michelle's cabin in the woods. This guy knocks on the door, and guess what he finds? Michelle getting first aid treatment from his wife. Well, this guy who got attacked, I guess he was like a church official. And he's like, okay, like this is obviously evidence. This man is a wolf, like not just any old wolf, but a werewolf. So he goes back and he notifies authorities, which in the 1500s, I don't know who's in charge, but someone was in charge. So he's like, I want to tell this guy. So Michelle is arrested. He's tortured and ultimately admits to being a werewolf. And then on top of that, he names Pierre as his accomplice. So then in 1521, Michelle and Pierre are officially accused of cannibalism and witchcraft. They're brought before the church's Inquisitor General. Well, it takes a full day for Pierre to make a full confession because he's like, I don't want to tell you people shit. But then finally, he tells the judge the truth, that he was, or is, a werewolf. So Pierre admits to crimes the court really could not even imagine, and he tells them about a time when he and Michelle had transformed. I guess one night they had like been a wolf or whatever, and they saw this woman who was just minding her own business gathering peas.
Your Honor, I am a wolf, actually, so, not guilty.
Peas. And then they like attacked her and tore her to pieces. And then on top of that, like some man saw and he came and like tried to rescue her. They ended up killing him too. Together, they killed and ate a 4-year-old girl and left only one arm behind. So they're killing people. He told the Inquisitor that Michelle thought human flesh was delicious and that one night they strangled a girl and drank her blood. So Pierre even spoke about a time when they almost got caught. I guess they had, captured a 7-year-old boy, but the boy screamed so loud that they had to quickly get that ointment on their skin and become human again, and get dressed in time to get away without anyone noticing. The Inquisitor asked Pierre to transform into a werewolf in front of them to prove that it was true. But Pierre said he had to be naked for his transformation to happen. Michelle told the court everything Pierre had said was true. Ultimately, they admitted to diabolism, aka making a deal with the devil, murder, and eating human flesh.
Satanism, classic Satanism. Very real and true story, I'm sure.
And that's how Michelle and Pierre became the first men executed for being a werewolf.
Goddamn.
And this wasn't just a one-off story, because in Germany, there were hundreds and hundreds of cases where people were accused of being werewolves. And it wasn't like it was a fair and balanced court system. I mean, just like with the witch trials, if you were accused of being a werewolf,
or like our current court system,
that was it. You were done, right? Same with the witches. How do you not prove you're not? How do you not? Whatever. The court had a plan of their own.
Yeah, how do you definitely prove that you're not a werewolf or whatever, not a Satanist? It's crazy. Like especially the trials they used to do. Like, oh, if you sink, you're a human, and we know you're innocent. But if you die, you're obviously a witch. I mean, if you float, you're a witch, and we'll kill you. Like, you're just dead either way. Like, fuck. It's like why we shouldn't have the death penalty. Like, so many people are exonerated after the fact, and like, it's so fucked up. It's so fucked. Sometimes people are exonerated like 20 years later. Like, there was that man that was just murdered by the police right after he got out, after being like wrongfully convicted for 20 years, like 18 years or something. Terrible.
Basically, it was like torture someone until they admit to being a witch or a werewolf. And then once they confess, then you kill them for being a witch or a werewolf. And that's how you got them. Most of the time, the accusations were started by people looking for revenge for petty reasons. Like if you didn't like your neighbor Brad because he kept you up until 2 a.m. playing the harmonica for some strange reason and you can't sleep, then boof. Guess what? You got all the power, baby, because you can walk your little ass over to the church the next morning and you tell them that you want to report a case of lycanthropy, whatever the hell that is. Well, lycan is the Roman name for wolf, so like this became the official term for the crime of being a werewolf. And this was a surprisingly easy claim to make back then. All you had to say is that, I don't know, you saw Brad transform into a werewolf last night. Like, oh my god, it was nuts, you guys. You should have saw it. He turned into a werewolf and like he fucking like rare. And I'm like, it was crazy. You guys missed out. You should have saw it. And this would essentially be a death sentence for Brad, because ever since the Polini trial of Pierre and Michelle, werewolves were everyone's like worst nightmare.
I love Bailey sometimes. Whenever she improvs, like, what was that? And he was like, wow. I was like, ah.
The most famous case of someone accused of lycanthropy happened in 1589 in a small German town near Cologne. I know, I love Cologne. It smells so good. This case involved a man named Peter Stump. I mean, there's not much on record about his life, but what we do know is that he was a farmer, he was a husband, a father, and really no one paid much attention to poor Peter because he's just normal, right? He did his work, he kept his head down, life goes on, you die. Now, even though this is like the most famous case of lycanthropy, no court records or transcripts have survived. So everything we know about Peter and his trial comes from pamphlets and handbills, or like news articles that came out during this time. But the story goes that after a series of murders in the town of Bedburg in Cologne, the villagers start to patrol the town in packs. I mean, they want to find out who is responsible and hopefully catch them in the act. And finally, it happens. They see a rabid wolf on the hunt, and the villagers chase it. They were sure this was the werewolf responsible. Now, there are a couple different versions in terms of like what happened next. Some sources say that the wolf transformed back into a human by removing a magic belt. And the wolf that the villagers were chasing became Peter Stump. Another account, which you can find in something called the Nuremberg Broadsheet, says that a farmer was attacked by a wolf one night, but was able to get away by chopping off the left paw of the wolf with a knife. Later, the farmer sees that Peter Stump is missing his left hand. Coincidence? I think not. Apparently, it was enough to go to the church on suspicion that Peter and the wolf are one and the same. What? Poor Peter, he is caught that night and arrested.
Can prove anything with a good argument, I guess. Fuck.
And then on top of that, tortured. They attach him to the rack, which if you don't know what the rack is, you need to watch our medieval torture devices.
Or not. Or not.
The rack is horrific. It's a horrific torture device. So they put him on this thing, and then Peter confesses, eventually, to being guilty.
Yeah, that's why torture doesn't work. You can get any confession out of anybody, which isn't, an indication of their guilt.
And then goes to trial. But of course he's going to confess. He's being tortured. I would confess too. I'll say whatever you want me to say if you're fucking ripping me in half. Right? I know. So in his trial, Peter says that he made a pact with the devil to become, a werewolf, as one does. And it seems like this was the 1500s version of pleading insanity. Like, Your Honor, I swear I can't be responsible for my actions. I was a werewolf at the time. Duh. In some versions of this trial, Peter pled guilty to transforming into a wolf
crime
via that magical belt situation. I guess it was a gift from the devil himself. The devil gifted him a belt, a Gucci belt, and it could keep Peter in his wolf form for up to 7 hours at a time.
Thick belt, dude. Fuck. I want a belt like that. Where do you get it?
Time. All right, sure. Does the wolf still wear the belt? Or does it disappear once he turns stone? Because that'd be kind of cute to see a wolf with like a little belt. Like, Is he wearing pants? No, because he's naked. The only way to become a werewolf is to be naked, except for the belt. I got questions. Anyways. Oh, wait, I'm the devil. I made that up.
True.
He's lying. Peter goes on to confess to the court that he was responsible for 16 human murders and the deaths of many animals of nearby farmers. Oh shit, Peter, you did a lot. Now, of those 16 people, I guess like 13 of them are kids.
What the fuck? What the fuck, Peter?
Whoops. But he didn't just like kill them, because why stop there? He also committed cannibalism with their corpses. And one of his victims was Peter's own son.
Gross.
Okay, yeah, this guy's a little fucked up. Now, Peter,
Yeah, okay, I don't know about all this. And what kind of bergamot-laced... What are we doing? What kind of drugs were you on? Because I just don't know.
He openly confessed to eating his son's brain. But, correction everyone, he did so as a werewolf. So...
Not guilty.
Technically, Peter didn't do it. It was a werewolf. So, he didn't do it. Peter also confessed to raping and murdering 2 pregnant women. He told the Inquisition that once the women were dead, he ripped open their stomachs and allegedly ate their children. All right, Peter. So Peter even admitted to raping his daughter and having an affair with his sister. So I guess it's safe to say that maybe...
Jesus Christ! I feel like this werewolf thing might be a cover. I have a hunch.
Yeah, he should just be locked up forever and burned at the stake. Actually, yeah, do it. Apparently, he also had a 25-year sexual relationship with a succubus, which is like a type of demonic creature that takes the shape of a beautiful woman. So he had a lot going on.
25 years. Wow.
He was a really busy man. Understandably, the town decided Peter was indeed a piece of shit, even if he was a werewolf. And they decided he deserved the worst kind of death. So they put him on one of these like turning torture wheel things, and it stretches his body. So Peter was completely stretched to the point where like his bones broke. And then they skinned Peter, like they got all of his flesh off. And then finally they decapitated him in front of a huge crowd and burned his body. You want to talk about extra? These people were extra. They did the most.
Talk about overkill.
But he did a lot of bad things, so whatever. And then afterwards, they put his head on a stake in the center of town just to remind everyone of what happened and what could happen to them if they want to misbehave. It's just a lot, right? Yeah. Can you imagine where you live now? Like, before you go to Target, you would see a bunch of heads on a stake.
I just wonder, though, like, what wasn't recorded? Like, was he just, like, speaking out against the king or whatever? Like, I don't know.
Still go to Target? Yeah, but I would be like, oh my God. Anyways, someone once wrote about Peter's stump saying, quote, "Of all other that ever lived, none was comparable unto this hellhound," end quote. Some historians believe that Mr. Stump over here was actually a scapegoat for a lot of like the Christians versus Protestants fighting that was happening at the time. And like, oh, that actually might be true. But there are others that believe he was just a bona fide serial killer and people are trying to make excuses for this man when he does not deserve it. I guess we'll never know. Then why are all of his like the paperwork and stuff missing? Maybe someone got rid of that on purpose. I don't know, just a thought. Okay. Oh my God, that scared me. God, I thought someone was watching me. Okay, so something that's kind of messed up on top of all of this. You remember how Peter raped his sister and his daughter? Allegedly, but like, okay, allegedly. Well, they got the death penalty for being accomplices in his crimes. Man, living back then must have sucked ass. Right? Being a woman.
Yeah. It was not fun being a woman in history. Still not very fun. I have news for you. Holy, yeah, no, that's insane. That's insane. Oh man, I think like not specifically that happens, but it like in domestic abuse cases, I've seen the woman get locked up because like cops are misogynistic, shocker, and will believe whatever the abusive man says. You know, it's like...
Peter Stum's story only gave the werewolf legend a whole new terrifying image in people's minds. I mean, he ate his son's brain, right? Like, that's gonna keep you up at night. My thought was, like, I wonder if he got any smarter because he ate brain. There's a theory there. Today, historians believe that werewolf stories like this one were popular because they helped some people make sense of the horrific actions of serial killers. Science and society in general did not understand how a human could be so sadistic. So the legend of people transforming into wolves kind of helped them process the horror. Like a human couldn't possibly eat his son's brain, but maybe a wolf could, you know? People still do this today. Like, it's a very common thing. Our brains naturally try to come up with some answers and excuses as to what might have happened instead of the truth.
Yeah, like, oh, he was possessed by the devil. People still say shit like that. Yeah, that's real.
It's very interesting. Looking back, the reason werewolf trials popped off the way they did in Western Germany and France, especially, was most likely because these were big farming areas with high concentrations of wolves. Therefore, they had the highest number of wolf attacks. It's been estimated that 30,000 people were executed for being werewolves from 1520 to 1630, and that's just...
Holy shit! That's insane. I did not know about this lore. Wow.
Just in France. Isn't that nuts? You only hear about the witch trial. When I heard about this, I was like, holy fucking shit, what? That was my reaction. England, on the other hand, almost completely eradicated wolves by the 1500s. So it makes sense that there are 0 records of any lycanthropy charges there. A biologist, his name was Edward O. Wilson, actually explained why Germany was so obsessed with wolves and werewolves. He went on to say, quote, "We are not just afraid of predators, we are transfixed by them. We weave stories and fables and chatter endlessly about them because fascination creates preparedness, and preparedness..."
Wolves are hella cool. Man, have y'all seen that lady that keeps wolves? She has a YouTube channel. I forget, what was her name?
Survival. In a deeply tribal sense, we love our monsters. End quote. Now, the next monster on my list is one that is very, shall we say, controversial. Throughout history, there's always a version of this monster that changes more than any other mythical creature. I mean, I'm talking about vampires.
Oh yeah, this is where I heard about them from. It's like a cute little couple. They just raise wolves. Look at that. They're so cute.
In the wild. For that to happen safely, however, we are first going to have to earn their trust by befriending them, feeding them, and hopefully, at the very end, go hiking alongside them out in the open. Okay, so who would be crazy enough to join us on a trip like this? First to say yes was Corey, our friend and incredible filmmaker who's joined me.
Holy crap. I just got kissed by a wolf.
Oh, I'm so scared. I thought I would be cooler about this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's a long one.
Holy crap. I just got kissed by a wolf.
Yeah, more than kiss. That was a French kiss.
At first, the wolves seemed apprehensive of us, especially of me. But after some time in their enclosure, the wolves
They're just big doggos.
licking our faces was the first sign that a bond was beginning to form.
A lot of people ask us, how did you get going? What school did you go to? What did you do? I was like, it literally just happened. There's no secret. It just was a passion that we loved and led us in this direction. We get up at the crack of dawn and we get out with these guys because we don't want them to be prisoners. We want them to have a life. And we can't release them into the wild. They were captive bred. It's illegal. They wouldn't know how to survive. We have a lot of them that can run off leash, and that, to me, is just pure joy. When they just run and play and there's no fence and they're up in the hills being wolves.
We're setting up the RV. This is home for the night.
Right next to the howling wolves. Yeah.
I'm excited for the hike tomorrow. I want to see their dynamics as a group because we've only seen them split up.
See who the alpha is.
Tomorrow when we see them interact with each other.
Wolves are outside right now, but are they coming in?
Oh
my gosh. Who is this? Thor. This is surreal. Yeah. We are inside your home and there are 4
I want a wolf.
wolf dogs and a pit bull raised by wolves. They really like Meredith a lot. They really like Meredith.
And he's doing kind of a fake.
Cute.
That's a sign he's letting you know that he's calm and relaxed.
When Thor is putting his paw out, what does that mean?
It's kind of a way of bonding. So he's kind of holding your hand by doing that.
I think Thor is leader. This is leader vibes right here. He's like, I'm on the couch.
If you stop petting him, will he put his paw out and say continue? Yep.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for having us.
They're 10-minute episodes on
And it's not always easy. I shut down. And then I come out and I spend time with these guys and they give me the strength to keep going. Oh, my babies.
And then,
it's okay, guys.
And then there's that. Mom's upset. This is because she was crying.
Oh, really?
Listen to how melodic it is.
They're trying to soothe me.
They're so sweet.
It's like the most beautiful sound I've ever heard.
This is because.
What does that feel like?
Indescribable. To have another species care about you so much. They're so intelligent and so emotional, so emotionally developed and so connected that they would care enough that a member of their pack is upset. I love you.
Even though we now
They're so cute. I love them. Love them. I gotta figure out who that channel is.
Yeah, we're just doing a whole Twilight show right now. We're just going through the Twilight list, I guess. But vampires, yeah. Now, people have a lot of mixed feelings about vampires. Some people like them, some people hate them. Some people think they're kind of hot. Same, I love vampires, personally, because, everyone has a different thing that pops into their brain when I say vampire. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, sparkly Twilight vampire, Tom Cruise, ew. Scientology, you get what I'm saying. But when I was researching vampires, I learned about a book that just blew my mind. This book was called The Black Vampire. It was written by an abolitionist named Uriah Derrick Darcy, and it was all about an enslaved person who was murdered at a Haitian plantation. He's brought back to life somehow as a vampire, and as soon as he's back, he's out for revenge. Okay, so spoiler alert, he ends up killing his old enslaver, then goes and frees other enslaved people on the island. Now this is so they could all start a revolution and end slavery. I know, I was like, ooh, that's deep. And it led me down the rabbit hole on the origins of vampires. And surprise, surprise, the world's first vampire comes all the way from ancient Egypt. Her name was Sekhmet. She was a goddess of like many things like war, chaos, plague, healing, and even the desert sun itself. She was really running shit, okay? In Egyptian art, she's depicted as having a lioness head. But most important to know about her was that she had a taste for blood. So she wanted to drink as much of it as she could get her hands on.
Classic.
And she was the daughter of the most important Egyptian god, Ra. Ra was known as the father of creation. One time, Ra sent Sekhmet to kill the humans who weren't loyal to him. So she's like, okay, I got you, Dad. And she ends up killing a bunch of humans. Then she drinks their blood. But the problem was, she couldn't stop. She starts killing anyone in sight just so she can drink their blood. And honestly, like, she couldn't even stop herself because she would want more and more and more. Now, Ra sees this and he's like, oh shit.
The hunger.
See, I shouldn't have sent her. Like, she's going to kill all of the humans who worship me. And that's exactly what she was doing. Not long after she was sent to go kill or whatever, Sekhmet just started murdering any innocent people that she saw. So Ra tries to like verbally reason with her, but she can't stop herself. So Ra needs to come up with like some kind of plan to get her to stop. So he takes a lot of beer, like thousands of containers of beer, and he ends up dyeing the liquid like this deep red, and then he dumps it into the Nile River. Now, not only does this turn the water red, it also floods the Nile River. So it just kind of looks like a river of blood. So Ra wasn't messing around. And when Sekhmet sees the red beer, she falls for it. She just goes to town, drinking and drinking until she gets so wasted off the beer that she passes out. And I guess that ends her reign of terror. She just goes home and sleeps off the hangover. Sekhmet was not technically called a vampire, but the basic element of wanting to drink blood is there. And the Nile River does still flood sometimes. Scholars believe the story of bloodthirsty Sekhmet used to help explain the yearly flooding of the Nile in ancient Egypt. And actually, sometimes the waters of the Nile do turn red to this day. Experts believe it's because of volcanic eruption.
Yo, what? Wait. I did not know that. Wait, that's kind of cool, actually. Real. Vampires are real, actually. I'm convinced.
Near the area. But, you know, a lot of people are like, Sekhmet. Yeah. Stories like Sekhmet's start to influence other cultures.
Wicked.
And this leads to vampire stories popping up in cultures all over the world. Some are more wild than others. And one of the craziest versions of a vampire comes from the Philippines. In Filipino folklore, there's a monster called the Manananggal, and she's a mouthful. Yes, she. Men have werewolves, women have vampires. Tomato, tomato. We're all killers. The Manananggal is a vampire-like creature that during the day takes the form of a beautiful woman, but at night, she turns into her true form, a woman with giant bat wings and sharp claws. Yeah. I guess she also detaches from her torso. I guess she flies around with no legs. Sorry, it's not funny because that's really scary. But still, she's flying around. She has no legs. And I guess her intestines are like hanging out. You guys got a lot going on over there, I understand. She creeps into houses through the windows, and then she sticks out her long tongue, and she puts it into a victim's body through any of their holes. Nose, ear, mouth, ass, take your pick. If you got a hole, she's going to tongue it. And she doesn't drink your blood. She is said to
we're all just a hole.
Feed on her victims' intestines. And her favorite were said to be pregnant women and children. A Manananggal can be killed if you season its legs. Yeah.
Okay, gross. Why is there so much cannibalism?
This part really got me. I was up all night. Like, what? With like basil or something? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, season. Sprinkle some salt or garlic on the legs. Because of this, she won't be able to reattach to her legs. If she can't get back on her legs before daylight, then she's dead. So bizarre, right? That one's creative. You can also like stab her with a bamboo stick. So yeah, that's another option. Garlic stabbing, creeping through windows. We get closer to like the vampire many of us know today. But vampire stories aren't really a widespread phenomenon yet. It's more specific to each culture and region. If you own your own business, you know the influx of holiday rush is just right around the corner, right? They didn't truly take off until the Middle Ages. I mean, there were lots of reasons for this, but the main reason was because of a disease called porphyria. It's an extremely rare blood disease that affects your blood's ability to carry oxygen. And the disease would cause issues like cramps and nausea, but it was also life-threatening. With this disease, your blood can't properly give you oxygen. So people would just get these really painful skin conditions, and they would just be in a ton of pain. Nowadays, you would get something called a blood transfusion, but, you know, they didn't have this option back then. So people with porphyria just did the best they could to ease the pain. And one of the most important things they had to do was stay out of sunlight. This is because their skin was so sensitive, it would burn like crazy if they got sunlight. Porphyria is believed to have been more common in the Middle Ages because of inbreeding. You know what type of people tend to be inbred.
Well, you didn't have to make the sound. I know what you meant.
Caterpillars? No, the royals. I guess they don't want some like outside rando coming in to inherit their millions. So, they f each other. That way their money stays within the family. They're like penny pinchers. With inbreeding, comes at a price. The people this affected the most were rich families that come from money. They already tended to isolate themselves from society, and some of them start to develop this body-morphing blood disease. I mean, hello, they live out of town.
English monarchy, I'm looking at you.
They're rich.
Not much has changed.
They can't go outside. Are these people like not vampires? Also, in the Middle Ages, over in Romania, there was a ruler named Vlad the Impaler. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you guys. Bitch. I stayed up all night the other night reading about this Vlad the Impaler. Oh my God, the knowledge I have on this guy. He was sick. Anyway, so his official title was Vlad III or Dracul. And Dracul means dragon in Romania. And he inherited this badass name from his father, who had joined a military group called the Order of the Dragon. And when he was just a kid, Vlad's father was murdered near their home by their enemies. And that same night, his oldest brother was tortured, blinded, and buried alive. Vlad, I guess, made it out safe, but understandably, this whole situation just completely changed who he was as a person. He stopped going by just Vlad and started going by Vlad Dracula. And gasp, I know, we're talking about Dracula. Dracula was actually inspired off this hoo-ha. Dracul, or Vlad the Impaler, was known for being just an absolute violent and bloodthirsty leader. He was psychotic. Look, I could do like a whole murder mystery or like a whole episode on this guy because he was fucked up, okay? But in his life, he was said to have killed over 80,000 people, and he killed over 20,000 of those people by impaling them. Yeah, I know. I was like, impale them with what? Well, to impale somebody, you gotta jab like a sharp stick or a spear right up through their body. And Vlad said that he would really like to warm up the tip, and he would like to leave them kind of dull because it was more torturous. It was so gross.
I mean, he was called Vlad the Impaler. I don't think he was a good guy.
And then he would just like put him butt and have this thing come out of the mouth, and he would just leave them to bleed out. Yeah, it wasn't fun because it's not like you died instantly. It would sometimes be a really slow death. Often he would impale like these people in public outside of his castle. He would just line bodies outside of his palace so he could send a message to his enemies, don't with me. He apparently loved to tie people up and roast them alive or set whole ass buildings on fire. He used to capture enemy prisoners, cut up the bottom of their feet, pour literal salt in their open wounds, and then bring a bunch of goats in to lick their bloody salty feet. I know, he was creative, he was bored, he was psychotic, and I am rolling my eyes because some people still think he's the greatest hero of all time. And he had these torture rooms where he would tie people over a giant pyramid-shaped spear, and he would lower them on top of it, inch by inch, over the pyramid spear, and slowly impale them to death. So they must have been big rooms. Oh, you can also go on tour. You can see his castle. If you've been there, let me know, because I kind of want to go, which is sick. I'm sick. I mean, even though he wasn't wearing a giant cloak or like biting people's necks and drinking their blood, that we know of, he probably was. He was still famous for being absolutely brutal and bloodthirsty. And his shocking life story really inspires one writer. And that writer was Mr. Bram Stoker. You know Bram Stoker, right? Yeah, a writer born in Ireland in 1847. I guess he never went to Transylvania, never met a vampire that we know of, but he spent 7 years researching and writing a book. His masterpiece was called Dracula. I would gasp, but I'm sure you're putting the pieces together. You're understanding where the inspo came from, right? You got it? Good. So Dracula. This book was published in 1897, and thanks to him, we have the playbook for the modern vampire today. Dracula is set in Transylvania and England, and Transylvania is real and in modern-day Romania, by the way. The story follows a vampire named Dracula, and Dracula, well, he's got all the classic vampire traits. He sleeps in coffins during the day. He could turn into a bat and also into mist. He sucks blood through a person's neck, doesn't love garlic, and also not fond of crucifixes. And he could be killed with a stake. Medium rare. You get it? No, okay. But he could be killed with a stake through the heart or by going into sunlight. I know, if this were Tinder, I'd swipe right. Like, same. I love steak. Ah, look.
It's like such an easy way to die. Like, oh, if you ever see the light of day, you're so done for. Like, how, make it make sense.
Dracula was released. Some people were like, ew, it's like violent, scary, and sexual. And then everyone else was like, what? This is sick. People loved it. Some people were getting like turned on. I mean, sucking blood from someone's neck. Hot. Yeah, and everything you want from a good horror story, honestly. It also came out not long after tuberculosis, which is a blood disease, and it was smashing through England. But because the science didn't exist yet, people naturally believed that TB was a sign of something evil and haunting. I mean, of course they did. Why not? They're so creative back then. So this mass fear about blood diseases translates into Dracula being a hit. People love to be scared. You kind of do, huh? Dracula became the face of vampires. And then Dracula was adapted to a Broadway play in 1920, which is so random because when you think about Vlad the Impaler, who was like sick as fuck, and then they turn it into like a Broadway play. I got questions, but whatever. And that's how vampires became a household monster. Of course, there have been a few negative things that have come to light ever since Dracula popped off. Well, that Impaler guy for one. Some experts believe that Dracula was written from a place of anti-Semitism. The vampire character came from like Eastern Europe, where there is a large Jewish population, and the character was written explicitly to not be Christian. And in the book, Dracula also sometimes...
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Now that she says it, it's literally just blood libel. Oh no.
Works with Jewish people to plan his evil deeds. He makes it a point to infiltrate society, which is something Jewish people were accused of back then. And when you take a step back and look at the details, it's not super uplifting towards anyone but English Christians. This makes sense when you remember that at the time when Dracula was written, there was a lot of anti-Semitism. People love to use monsters as a way to project whatever it is that society is fearing at the time. Kind of reminds me of the witch trials. They were just targeting strong individual women who spoke up. Another example of this is that during the AIDS epidemic in the 80s, vampire movies saw a huge spike in popularity. People were terrified of diseases that were contagious through your blood that you couldn't do anything about. So now we enter the 21st century and vampires are everywhere we look. I feel like there's a new vampire movie like every week, which I'm not mad about, but all of them, for the most part, still kind of follow the Dracula playbook. Vampires did get a little sexy makeover in the 70s when the author Anne Rice wrote the Vampire Chronicles. And they got the ultimate glow up when Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise played them in the movie version of Interview with a Vampire. I never saw it, but I heard it's good. Don't come for me. I'll get to it.
It is good. It is actually so good. It's like a very cult classic.
It's on my list. But all in all, I think we like vampires because honestly, it's kind of hot. Someone wants to bite you on your neck and give you a little suck? Okay, come on. He can't bug you during the day because he'll explode? Sounds like a dream, man. He likes to sleep and stay indoors. Hello, samey. So the next monster I want to talk about is very different from vampires. It has a wild history I feel like is actually not known by a lot of people. I mean, it's definitely a journey. So just stick with me, because now we're on to zombies. And zombies are a little different than werewolves and vampires. They're special. They're like, I'm not like other monsters. I'm a zombie. So first off, every culture fears the undead in some kind of way. It's something that we all have in common, you guys. The concept that someone can die but then come back to life and want to kill you is legit terrifying. The way zombies are depicted today is way different than how zombies actually started out. Zombie mythology begins in West Africa. The word zombie can even be traced back to West African languages. The word...
Wait, I had no idea it was that old. I was so curious about the origins of this. This is perfect. I love Bailey.
Nzumbi, which translates in English to corpse, is where the word zombie comes from. The religion most dominant in early West Africa was something called voodoo. And no, it's not like the voodoo that you and I are probably thinking of. It definitely has its similarities, but not the same. In the voodoo religion, it is believed that a body is just a body run by two spiritual elements. One has to do with your personality and its ability to talk to spirits, and the other is the part of your physical body and how it moves and functions. In voodoo, there is someone called a bokor, and this bokor is actually known as a, quote, witch for hire. They perform magic using dark spirits. Now, these acts can be good and evil. The bokors, who would use their powers for evil, would sometimes use their powers to create zombies. The bokor uses spells or potions to trap your mind, memories, and personality. So it's basically like wiping a person's brain clean, a hard reset. And then the bokor controls the body of that now brainless person to do whatever he wants. And usually that thing was evil zombie work, like attacking other people. Now,
I would take a brain reset right about now, TBH.
Zombies are not a huge part of the voodoo religion. They start to become more important in the 1500s, right around the time of the slave trade, when Africans were being forced out of their homes and trafficked to the Americas. We also learned that many of those enslaved people were brought to modern-day Haiti and forced to work on sugar plantations. 87% of the island's population is thought to have been enslaved. Between the 1500s and 1700s, people from all different countries and cultures were enslaved together. And naturally, their beliefs started to mix and morph and change with each other, including the voodoo belief in zombies. Plus, many experts believe the experience of being enslaved created the modern-day zombie legend. Because think about it, they had no choice but to work and do whatever their captors told them. Some enslavers brought their enslaved to the South in America, and voodoo beliefs created Creole culture. And that's how the United States was introduced to a version of the zombies we know today. Even though all this was happening, most Americans didn't know about the legend of zombies. They weren't household monsters like vampires were. But this changes in the early 20th century. The United States occupied Haiti from 1915 to 1934 after its president was killed. American soldiers who came back from Haiti were telling stories about the different types of cultures they encountered there. One of these soldiers was a man named William Seabrook. He published a book in 1929 called The Magic Island. Ooh. But this isn't totally a good thing. He describes voodoo culture and beliefs, but exaggerates just about everything. He makes it really sexual, like just straight up objectifying the people there. And he makes the culture seem more violent than it was. He was essentially capitalizing on the fear Americans had of enslaved people and people of color in general. It appealed to the masses. People didn't think like, oh, this is just one guy's take on what he saw. It was the straight up truth to them. The book turned the real culture of voodoo into the voodoo culture many of us know today. Plus, The Magic Island was the first time most Americans had read about zombies. Just a few years after The Magic Island was published, the first American zombie movie came out. That movie is called White Zombie. People were obsessed with the concept of zombies. And pretty soon, word on the street was, if you were a movie maker and you wanted to make some money, you made a monster movie. For over 20 years, monster movies were big in the box office. And zombies, more or less, stay as these mindless creatures who have no desire for cannibalism. But that was thrown out the window in 1968 when a little movie called Night of the Living Dead comes out. And this is when we leave behind the African concept of zombies and they get like a whole new identity. The movie is directed by George A. Romero. And it's basically the first time we see zombies like you and I know today. It's about a group of people who get trapped in a farmhouse. Outside, tons of dead people come to life. And all they want is to eat human flesh. Classic. Perfect. Scary. Boo. Night of the Living Dead didn't use almost any Haitian zombie legend. I guess the director sort of just winged it, not citing sources. He is not passing turnitin.com. You know, Romero himself said he was inspired by a famous
source. I made it up, i.e. I stole it from African culture.
Vampire novel called I Am Legend. I haven't read it, but I did see the
Oh shit, I didn't know it was a novel even. Oh shit.
movie with Will Smith. Actually, I'm lying because I fell asleep, but I hear scarred for life is what a lot of people say. So George Romero's zombies are not servants to an evil master. Nobody even knows why or how they're coming back to life. It's actually ironic that in Night of the Living Dead, the word zombie is never used. The creatures are called ghouls or unnamed most of the time. But we know those are some zombies for sure. So zombies don't exist, right? I mean, who's to really say? Well, in 1962, a Haitian man named Clairvius Narcisse claimed to have been a zombie. He was a worker who went into the hospital for breathing problems. He reportedly died there and was even buried in a cemetery. But 18 years later, an unknown man walked up to Angelina Narcisse, who's Clairvius' sister, in the town square and claimed to be Clairvius himself. Multiple people were like, yep, that's him. Good old Clairvius. He said he had been dug up, brought back from the dead, and forced to work on a sugar plantation.
That's fucked up. Well, yeah, ew, what the fuck?
Some people believed he
I would be so pissed.
seemed undead. But look, who can totally say? Not me, right? Joan, what do you think, girl? I don't know, maybe he just didn't die. Maybe that wasn't him who died. It seems like monsters are
Maybe a good old case of amnesia.
really just a reflection of our own biggest fears. On a personal level, which is why we all have our own favorite monster, but also on a bigger societal level. It's almost like we need monsters to explain our problems. But look, what I do know is if we don't have monsters, the only thing staring at us in the bathroom mirror is ourselves. Jump scare, bitch. Happy Halloween, stay safe, and enjoy those monster movies. Well, thanks for listening. Next week, we'll be talking about conjugal visits. Yeah, random, huh? But trust me, wow. Where did they first start and why? Like, spoiler alert, it's not what you're thinking at all. We'll talk about why so many prisons and states have gotten rid of the program completely and what that means for America. But for now, remember, don't be afraid to ask questions to get to the whole story because you deserve that. And also, you can join me over on my YouTube where you can watch these episodes on Thursday after the podcast airs. And while you're there, you can also catch Murder, Mystery, and Makeup. I'd love to hear your guys' reactions.
Wonderful. Well, you know, speaking of zombies. Wait, where did the song go? That was supposed to be smoother, but transition than it was. Oh, there it is. I'll be right back.
girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. 5G, emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. The rap game, George Soros, motherfucker. Daddy Marba, yeah, motherfucker. I'm a walking virus. I got the meow and I met Osiris. I'ma replace you and your mom. Mickey D Big Macs made out of humans. Oh God, I got a theory. Post it on the Twitter, make everybody leery. Oh no, I be hungry. Let me eat Hillary. No, she tastes funky. Bill Gates, got the point. Microchip till I go insane. 5G, emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. 5G, emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. Phone tower, transmit frequency. 2023 nanobot technology. I got theories with no sources. Don't fuck with me. Cell phone tower, transmit frequency. 2023 nanobot technology. I got theories with no sources. Don't fuck with me, bitch. 5G, emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. 5G, emergency broadcast zombie. Thought I was a good girl and got the meows. Give me your face, dude, I want a snack. Yeah, problemas in the house. Suck my fucking dick. Yo. Meow, 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 meow.
Hi, Chase. I came on a little early, yeah.
Bing bong bong bing 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 bong bong bing 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 bong bong bing 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 bong bong bing 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 bing. Let's indict the motherfucker. Bing bong bong bing. 6 o'clock, I think I'm being indicted again. Bing bong bong bing 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 bing. Let's indict the motherfucker. Bing bong bong bing 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 bing. You don't mind if I go off script, do you? Most indictments in the shortest period of time. Who is it? Trump. Trump! But when they indicted me, and then again and again and again, I was never indicted. Now I'm setting records. Al Capone was not indicted so much. If you looked at Al Capone in the wrong way, he'd kill you. He was not indicted like me. They had a weightlifting deal. This one young woman, she was so proud of it. They put a 1/4 ounce on each side of the thing. Then this guy who recently transitioned. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. Let's indict the motherfucker. Bing, bong, bong, bing. 6 o'clock, I think I'm being indicted again. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. Let's indict the motherfucker. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. You don't mind if I go off script, do you? We will immediately stop all of the pillaging and theft. Very simply, if you rob a store, you can fully expect to be shot as you are leaving that store. Shot, 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 shot. Get up! You deserve a little entertainment. I have a problem. Everybody wants it. They're screaming, dance, dance. Bing, bong. My wife, the first lady, hates when I do this. She said, it's not presidential. I said, yeah, but people like it. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. Let's indict the motherfucker. Bing, bong, bong, bing. 6 o'clock, I think I'm being indicted again. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. Let's indict the motherfucker. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. You don't mind if I go off script, do you? You don't hear about the American dream anymore, do you? You used to hear the American dream. The American dream, there's no American dream with Biden. I mean, the guy can't find his way off of the stage. Look, here's the stage. And this guy gets up. Where am I? What a loser. They said, sir, please don't say that. It sounds too obnoxious. I said, I don't mind being obnoxious. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. Let's indict the motherfucker. Bing, bong, bong, bing. 6 What's it like? I think I'm being indicted again. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. Let's indict the motherfucker. Bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. You don't mind if I go off script, do you?
Delightful. Okay. Fucking time for Sarian. Halloween version.
Got a message for the burly boys out there. What do we got?
That's right. Hulk Hogan, the Fancy Boys are coming to Denver, Colorado for SmackDown. And we're going to give you some of that fancy strength. Show them, Nancy Fancy.
Show them. Look at that.
Don't mind Nancy. He's got something going on with
Oh my god. Oh, they're so cunty.
his brain. Me and my brother Bubba Fancy, Kick Fancy over here. We're going to bring that energy Hulk Hogan.
You're going down, Hulk. You and the boys, the burly boys, are going down, brother. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Fear and that's right, and Happy Halloween.
Hi, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie. Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
See the movie. Did you see the movie?
I did. I saw it with
We're
Cutie.
all supposed to say hey, Barbie to each other.
Okay.
Did you say hey, Barbie to each person?
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey, I said it to you. Hey, Barbie.
Oh, hey, Barbie.
Oh, hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Hey,
Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
We already said it. Hey, Barbie.
Hey, Barbie.
Perfect.
So
Okay,
obnoxious.
I've
I love
never
it.
felt so comfortable in my own skin.
Can I take the wig off yet?
I feel like this is
Yeah.
how I'm supposed
I can take
to
the wig
look.
off yet?
Yeah.
We can take the wigs off?
Yes.
Even mine on.
People like them, but you
Like-
hate it.
Pink is a great color for Will. It is.
I like mine too.
You want to be
It's
weird,
just
Barbie.
like,
This is weird, Barbie.
Ugh.
it's just a little itchy.
God, I feel so strong as Barbie.
You guys want to know? There was a massive line outside of Spirit Halloween. Apparently, that's an LA thing. That there's.
Sure.
I went to the third person in the line. There were two girls, and I said, "How long have you guys been waiting?" And they're like, 30 minutes. And I said,
30 minutes?
Can I Venmo you $50 and get in line with you? And they said, yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
God damn.
So smart. Ruthless businesswoman.
Yeah.
Easy.
And then I did it.
QTCinderella.
And then I got our
Easy.
costumes.
I'm so excited to be here with you guys celebrating Halloween.
Yeah.
You look good, Barbie.
This
Thanks,
is our
you too,
Halloween
Barbie.
episode. Austin didn't know it was Halloween. I kind of knew it was Halloween, but forgot.
I knew it was Halloween.
No, you didn't. You literally said, Halloween,
You
it's
asked
happening
you asked
now?
what day Halloween was on.
No, I knew Halloween was on October 30th.
Well, you're welcome for your costume. 31st.
October
It's the
31st.
Was testing you guys.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you 75?
No, I knew Halloween was on October 30th. I really did.
Sure you did.
31st. How you guys doing? How's it going?
I'm sick and I'm tired.
Everybody is sick. Everybody's sick.
I'm sick and tired
I'm sick.
of being
I'm not
sick
sick.
and tired.
Are you sick?
Somebody turn the lights on.
I don't know that song.
Never heard that song before in my
Never
life.
What?
Cutie, are you sick?
Yeah.
I'm sick. Will's not sick. Hassan is sick.
Cutie, do you have a hair tie? I need it for my hair, bitch.
No.
Okay, everyone is sick, but nobody has taken a COVID test. Brother, why?
Oh.
Bitch, I need it for my hair,
Do you want a cowboy
slut.
hat?
I want to do this entire
Is this
podcast
good?
as a professional wrestler.
That might keep your hair
Can I-
back.
Yeah, I want to keep my hair back, slutty girl. Yeah.
It's not how you do it. It's
Is that
just
not?
He's just.
Is this how sleepovers are with girls?
Yeah.
No.
Do you guys call each other bitches? That's what I picture when girls get
Let's
together.
talk
like-
about boys right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys talk about dicks at sleepovers?
No.
You don't talk about dicks
You're
at sleepovers?
such a whore.
That was
What?
so
Do you guys talk
loud.
about other girls like behind their back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
that's
let's
true.
talk about other
Burn
girls.
bug.
Yeah.
Let's talk about other girls behind their backs.
Okay. There's this one Barbie that won't keep their wig on, and they're super cringe.
I agree.
There's this one Barbie that was freaking out because their Barbie outfit wasn't as hot as the other Barbie outfits, and they were
Hey.
mad, even though another Barbie is quite literally dump truck Barbie.
Is that me? I don't know.
Yeah.
You're
Am I
dump
the
truck
one?
Barbie?
I mean, this is.
That's a valuable position in
You
society.
gave
all
me
right?
you gave me old Bertha Barbie, and I don't. And to be fair, it's because I couldn't fit in the cowboy Barbie.
Yeah, I was gonna be Bertha Barbie till his body didn't fit.
Yeah.
I got us the only Barbie costumes
I had too
available
much
left.
My
Fire
underwear
me.
is showing. I can see my cock in
Oh my
this
God.
costume.
You're looking for it because you have a
The
fanny pack that covers it.
The funniest
You
part
also
about
have
your outfit
elbows.
is that you just look gay.
She got me gay Barbie.
You literally got.
Gay
you just look kind of
Barbie.
gay.
No, you just didn't put your wig on.
Yeah.
What do you mean I look kind
So
of
you
gay?
look like a jazzercise instructor.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Look at this.
Bro, you
It's a
need
good old
to.
fashioned. They're just queer bashing me.
Yeah,
Oh
this
my
is.
God.
You
It's
need
a
to
good
get.
old fashioned queer bash.
That's
First
right.
of all, this is the girlies. Okay,
Okay,
listen.
sorry.
So
My God,
you
stop.
need to listen.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
You need to see the sun, my boy.
Wait.
Oh.
Are you? Hold on. Look, this has turned into a roast Austin session.
Yeah.
Look,
This
I'm
is,
sorry.
This is
Podcast.
the nicest we've ever
I'm
been
sorry.
to you, by the way.
I'm sorry. I don't want to get skin cancer. Okay.
Bro, a little bit of sun is not gonna hurt you.
I'm from Oregon. There's no sun.
You're Lebanese. Your people
He has like a farmer's tan. Oh no, Austin.
need the sun.
I know. I'm Irish too.
That meat that smells hot.
Odd?
Like oboe, B.O.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I don't
never
wanna...
It's
smell.
not me.
I never.
It
Not
might
me
be.
either.
I'm gonna go put on some cologne.
You smell? I never. I didn't smell
didn't smell
anything.
anything.
I didn't smell anything to be honest.
It might
Oh my
be-
God, those
But
pants.
the good thing is only you can smell you.
That's
The
true.
pants.
You have a sense of what?
Olfactory.
What's that mean?
Just he's got
He's
a
very-
powerful
he's very
nose.
powerful nose.
There's
So-
no
Now
way
I'm
to
nervous
like.
it's me.
There's no
Nippa.
way to talk and do this and come across like you're like
Don't
a
show my
masculine
armpit.
person. I feel like, you know what I mean. Whenever I do this,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Can you do
I
the
feel
thing?
so pretty.
So girlfriend. So Barbie.
Editor, if my armpit showed, put an emo over it.
Can you do the thing, Marsh?
He wants to see himself on the camera. He wants to make sure.
That's crazy.
How do we look?
No, I don't like it. That's why we don't check the camera.
Okay. All right. We look great. We look great, cutie.
Thank you for
Play.
getting me this Halloween costume that I will be wearing to another Halloween party, and you know this is an easy costume.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, I was not gonna go and get a costume.
Now you're Barbie.
I feel great.
Bro, why is he just going to parties sick? Like, is that not like even before COVID? Like, you don't want to get everyone sick, right? Like, what the fuck?
So we all got back from TwitchCon, right?
Yeah.
How was that? How was your TwitchCon? Great.
Fucking
Everybody's
awful.
ill.
Okay, so cutie, you went to the sex party. How was it without me? By the way, thanks.
Burlesque show.
Just went to a sex party.
It was
You went to a sex
crazy.
party?
No,
Sex
it was,
show.
it was burlesque
Crazy.
show. But Austin, you actually really would have liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there live fucking?
No, but there were men gyrating.
Ooh.
And at one point, they're all dancing to a song,
Mhm.
and then the men turn around and their butt cheeks were showing.
Oh, see,
Oh,
You love
it
butt
takes a little
cheeks.
bit more than that. to
oh,
get
then
me
you wouldn't
going
have liked it.
these days.
Because that's all that showed was butt cheeks of
Yeah,
men.
What do you want? You want whole?
You want a cock and ball?
I wanted everything.
Oh my god.
They didn't
You
show
want
cock and
whole.
I
ball.
wanted to see some ridiculous stuff. I know there's like some freaky shows. What do they call
Box.
those? The box in London.
Yeah.
There's some
women
freaky
throwing ping pong balls out of their vaginas.
Yeah, that's
Guys
what I want to
doing
see.
Sounding.
I
You
want
want
to
to see some sounding?
Ow.
Yeah, I want to see
I don't
that.
want to see that.
I want to see that
You
stuff.
want to see that?
I don't want to see it, but it's like watching a train wreck. You know, you can't look away.
I would look away.
I would definitely watch
You and
that.
Hassan are having the same problem with your
Yeah,
hair.
for sure.
Marsh, will you find them hair ties?
Can you find me a hair tie, please?
Oh my god.
Our studio is being worked on.
Yeah, we have nothing to talk about this week.
They're so high maintenance.
We do.
No, what do you mean?
Our studio's being worked on. It's been worked on in the
Did
other
you
room.
see it? Did you
This,
like it?
yeah, I like it. It's not done yet, but it looks good.
It looks
I
promising.
haven't seen
Looks
it yet.
promising.
Oh.
It's in the other room. This is the second to last episode we'll be filming in this studio, folks.
Wow.
Wow.
That's right. Second to last
Wow.
episode.
Fog.
We did it.
We did it.
We're slowly but surely eviscerating the
yard.
price of this house.
Oh.
By ruining every room.
Well.
But it's okay.
We just need to paint it back white, surely.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
No,
Hassan.
we already broke through the.
Was this?
Does it look like anything yet?
It looks. It's
Yeah.
just green.
It looks.
What?
No,
I
it's
thought it
not
was
green. It's
purple.
purple.
Oh,
it's
I
not
f-
green.
I
What
didn't
kind of
look at it.
fucking?
Let me
Dude, what are you,
There's-
colorblind,
there's-
Barbie? What the fuck?
Whoa,
It
wait.
looked green to
Ableist Barbie over there.
Yeah, I am able. I'm toxic, Barbie, bitch.
I think
Okay.
all Barbies are toxic.
No.
Wow, say it. Say it, sister.
Your society right now.
Say it,
I'm gonna be
sister.
honest. They kind of retconned a lot of Barbie lore.
What? You haven't even seen it.
I'm saying the movie retconned Barbie lore.
You haven't seen it.
Yeah, she's not like a ruthless bitch.
Wait, what?
Door's open.
Barbie is a ruthless bitch.
No.
Marsh, my food is here as well.
Every woman who has ever looked like Barbie has been a ruthless bitch.
No.
Yes.
I don't know what.
Did you ever go to high school?
Yeah.
Were you bullied in high school?
Yeah.
I think Cutie
By
thinks...
women who look like what?
No, Cutie thinks she
Hipsters.
looks like
I
Barbie.
went to high school in Seattle. Everyone looks like a fucking
oh my
hipster. The
God.
hipsters were the
Are you
bullies.
taking on Barbie lore the same way you take on Taylor Swift
That's
lore?
so funny.
What do you mean? Don't bring up Taylor Swift.
Oh, why not, cutie?
Oh, let's talk about
Why
Taylor
not?
Swift.
Why can't we bring up Taylor Swift? Oh, did the Jets fandom attack and defame me? No, that's so
No,
weird.
they didn't.
They still love me.
The Swifties turned on me.
I heard about this.
Yeah,
I was right
and
there
you
by
kind
your
of
side.
deserved
You
it. Let's
didn't
talk
say
about
anything.
it.
Well, I didn't deserve it.
Yes, you did. Why do you run your mouth? Why do you run your mouth?
Why would you say that about Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
So I have a podcast.
Explain
and
what's going on.
sometimes-
It's like you don't want Taylor to be happy.
Okay. For those of you who aren't fucking mentally ill stans, just explain to them what happened.
Okay.
Dude, Will put on the wig and just dialed the cunt up to 11. I love him.
This is what had happened. I went to Vegas. I had different makeup artists every day. And every single one of them, I'd be like, tell me some stories. And they would tell me some stories. And I had this really wackadoo makeup artist who was saying all sorts of things. But one of the rants she went on was about how she is friends with Travis Kelce's publicist. I do not believe she is actually friends with his publicist. For the record, I even started off by saying...
But you said it anyway.
I said, do you want to hear some hot tea? I don't believe it, but, and then I said the hot tea. Essentially, there's a problem. There's a Swiftie fandom called Gaylers. I am not a Gayler. I would like to make that very, very clear. I do not believe Taylor Swift is gay.
I do.
No!
I'm just kidding.
I do too, bitch.
No! Okay.
I do too.
I
Say
don't.
it.
I don't.
Anyway, so I got on this podcast and I was
Some
like,
of us have queer pride.
Stop.
Unlike you. Put that snap away. You don't deserve it.
What is queer
You've
pride?
lost your snap.
What do you mean? Why? Is
Because you're
I
not a
won't put my-
Gaylor truther like
Because
we
I won't
are.
be-
you
bitch.
guys aren't
My wig on?
Gaylers. I assure you. You're
We're
not
fucking.
Gaylers.
We're so Gaylor.
She just condemned the Gaylers. I would just make the Taylor Swift
Who
herself
did?
condemned.
Yeah, okay. Fakelers, more like.
Taylor.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I'm not a
you know
Gaylor.
why? Because society has condemned
That's right.
queer love.
God gives his most devout followers his hardest trials.
Yeah. Oh my God, you speak on it, sis.
I can't even argue with this. I don't.
You
So
can't
anyway, so-
because you can't
Gaylors
argue
go
with
after them.
facts.
So you said...
Oh,
So
thank
I
you.
said,
Just one is fine.
here's
God
some.
damn.
I said, here's some crazy tea. She
That's
said,
my Chick-fil-A. No. Go
I said the makeup artist said she was friends with the publicist, and the publicist said it was a PR relationship because everyone is speculating that's a PR relationship because it's a crazy thing to speculate.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift doesn't need to date someone like he's less famous than her. Like,
well, to be fair, to be fair, the NFL has
Important
put their
market.
shoulder into it in a way
Yeah.
that really backs this is a media
I
relationship. end.
blame
Now,
the NFL.
I think they're doing that to their own ends. I
Yeah.
think they are leveraging hard. But it is tough when you see her like doing the electric slide with the fucking Mahomes family, who are notoriously awful.
Wait, why are they?
His brother is like an abuser, and his wife is like, well, an accused abuser, alleged abuser. Still has to go to court, I think. You can look that up. And his wife has just been kind of the worst person.
Yeah, Caroline has talked about pretty openly serving his wife at bars and how she was mean.
I think
you
I think it goes way deeper.
You mean
than
Travis Kelce's ex, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was who.
Yeah,
Caroline
and she was
talking about.
mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I just mentioned that my
Fun's always eating. Why?
makeup artist said that. And then what happened was someone took that clip, ignored the words that I said, where I said, I don't believe it. I also called it hot goss, which is not credible. I would like to make it very clear. If I said I heard from a credible source, I did not hear from a credible source.
That's good. That's good to know. Hot goss. Unsubstantiated.
Yeah. World. Okay.
Off the record.
His hot goss is not, that's not credible.
Sure.
Anyway.
Yeah.
And so I said that, and then the Swifties got a Gaylor Swiftie on TikTok.
Okay, Mrs. TMZ.
No.
Mrs. Breaking News.
No. Guys, my podcast, Wine About It gets like 100K views, okay? Why are we using this as a credible source?
Speaking of which, when I went into your Twitch chat and I went !podcast.
Oh boy.
Wine About It comes up.
It needs more help.
Just letting you know, !podcast. Follow my podcast, Wine About It.
Cutie, listen.
That's what comes up when I was in your Twitch chat.
You're at your very lowest. Your own
Exposed. She doesn't even care.
fan base has betrayed you. They've cut you out like a cancer.
You
need us more than ever.
I'd like to make an
When you do
announcement.
!fear and you
Cutie,
guys pop up.
we're going
don't
to
pretend like you don't.
we are making
we have our own, but it's not a podcast.
We're announcing the Fear and merger. We're acquiring Wine About It.
That's right.
Yep, in a blockbuster.
This is corporate takeover.
Yes,
Okay.
This is corporate espionage.
you have no idea. Before you go bankrupt, we're acquiring you.
Yeah.
We're acquiring.
That might be worth it for me.
Pennies on the dollar.
That might be worth it for
we
me.
wrote a check for $15,000. We have now acquired Wine About It.
Yes.
We own all the rights.
Maya has to do.
She has to do Fear and. Yeah. She has to do appearances.
That's a discussion.
Whenever we feel
she needs
like
to join Fear and. We're acquiring Wine About It.
Well, Cutie, the wolves are at your door. Right now, you are the most hated member of Fear and. The internet hates you. It's lightning hot. Even
gaslighting Barbie.
Palestine stuff isn't as hot as your Taylor Swift controversy. Old Hasanabi wouldn't even touch you with a stick.
No. Speak for yourself.
Yeah,
the Hamas constituency is
the Swift
disavowed.
Fan base, way scarier.
So a Gaylor took the clip, put it on her TikTok.
I'm so sorry, Cutie.
It's okay. She literally not to be a Swiftie here and quote Paris, but she's like, my best friend's girlfriend. Okay, let me find the lyrics because I'm fucking up. Wait, no, 1 second. Wait, it's important.
This is why you got excommunicated.
No, Oh, your ex-friend's sister met someone at a club and you kissed her. Turns out it was that guy that you hooked up from ages ago, some wannabe Z-lister. That's literally what I did. I said, my makeup artist, is friends with someone, whatever. It's not even close to true. And then it was just a story. It's like when someone tells you a ghost story. I'm going to tell the ghost story and say, what a crazy ghost story I heard. You said you saw Bigfoot.
Ooh.
My crazy.
You saw Bigfoot?
No. But
yeah, it's just artistic license, I don't expect every song to be true.
Doing it again, see?
I thought do you believe in ghosts?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Can I I would like to say something.
Yeah.
It's Halloween.
I know, we'll do scary.
Listen,
what?
In the interest of fairness and journalistic integrity, Fear and has never, ever pushed forward falsehoods about the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift relationship, and that was simply a totally separate podcast.
I'm on this podcast.
We love our Gaylors and our Taylors.
No, we don't like the Gaylors.
We are Gaylors, but we also love Taylor Swift having a big
Stop
hunky
putting words in
man.
our mouth, okay?
Big hunky man.
You have
like
no
Travis
choice. We've
Kelce.
acquired you.
Yeah.
This is the dragging Cutie. Cutie is at her absolute lowest, and we decided this is the episode that we're just gonna drag.
It's finally it's so nice to get the heat off of it.
Okay. So this Gaylor on TikTok was like, see, this is confirmation. Even though I'm sitting there saying I don't believe it. So then I DM her and I'm like, hey girlie, could you delete this? Like I have delved into conspiracy. I also have delved into Leah Michelle can't read. I'm a conspiracy.
You've walked us through a lot of the conspiracies.
I'm
so
sorry.
I walked Maya through the conspiracy a few episodes
excuse
ago.
me, Leah Michelle can't read is not a conspiracy. That's a fact.
That's fair. Whatever.
Don't conflate factually accurate information with your fake conspiracies about PR relationships about Taylor. What are you doing, Austin?
What?
He's texting a
You're
tween.
still doing it.
I'm done.
You haven't stopped.
I'm done texting.
No matter how many times I have walked through conspiracies, I always loop back to what Taylor puts out there is the truth. We follow Blondie. I have always said that, okay?
Sure.
So she is in a happy relationship.
It's literally
She's in love.
QAnon.
I know it's a cult. So I'm fine with it at this point.
You did, of all the tweets, you tweeted one that was the most interesting
Shut
to
up.
me.
Let me get there. Okay, so this Instagram account
Yes.
With 2 million followers called Demois. It is also, they actually just did a podcast with those 2 women that we need on our podcast.
Oh, yeah. I watched something about Demois once. Forget about that. There was some kind of controversy or fucking something. Yeah.
On their podcast.
Yeah.
I've
I'm
had
over
it.
it.
I've had it. Yeah.
Everyone wants me.
Anyway.
These wigs have changed us.
I know. So Demois posted, or somebody, Demois will do these things where we'd be like, tell us your chaos theories. And someone said to Demois, have you seen the QTCinderella clip? And Demois was like, yeah, it's absolutely not true. And so then they start attacking me, even though I also said it wasn't true.
Why would Dumas know?
Because Demois is like the insider. I don't know. Like Perez Hilton.
I thought we follow only Blondie.
I know. I do.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Anyway.
You're a voice for good in this world full of evil.
So then.
Hey, Marsh.
You only watch part of this. It's good so far, though. Probably the best group podcast right now. I love it. I love it. I something about the combo, and they're so slay as Barbie.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So then 2 million people saw this and they got really mad at me.
Yeah.
And they were coming at me and they were like, how dare you spread the Gaylor agenda? How dare you talk about her relationship? You're not a real Swiftie if you're talking about her relationship. They had the audacity to be like, why don't you ever talk about her music?
You talk about her music all the time. In fact,
And she won't shut up about it.
I know that every 5th song is the most emotional because of you.
Yeah, they're like, why don't you talk about her outfits of the Eras tour? Bitch, I've talked about it all. I talk about everything about Taylor Swift. I've talked about it all. So they start attacking me. They start saying, I hope your plane crashes on your way home from Las Vegas.
And you're like, joke's on you. I don't fucking fly.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up, dude.
I was like, bitch. And then I just turned it into a joke. I said, what am I going to do with all my friendship bracelets? Do I have to rename my dog? Do I have to rename my assistant?
Right.
Like, what should I do?
There was one other thing you
Wait,
tweeted too. There was one
Did you
more
name your assistant off of
No,
Taylor
I just thought
Swift?
it was funny. I just thought it was funny.
There was one other thing you tweeted.
I also
Did you see that tweet?
What was it?
My whole career, I have fervently defended.
Outside.
Fervently.
No, they have a picture.
Oh boy.
It's on top of the number.
I tweeted because I've defended Swifties for so long. You guys are like, they're as bad as K-pop stans. They're as bad as Barbs. They're as bad as, and I've said, no, they are not. We don't believe in that as Swifties. Apparently they are.
So there was another
So
part.
you guys were right.
Can you say that again with our
what was
names?
that?
With our usernames, like you said on Twitter.
And Will Neff.
That's right.
Were correct about a partial audience of the Swifties being complete psychopaths. That is not Blondie's fault.
That's true. I mean, I think any fandom has a certain amount of them that are just like rabid.
Can't control them all.
You're such a good fan.
It is not her fault that they are crazy.
Cutie, I support you.
I hope one day that my fans can be as fervent and feverish as you.
Yeah.
What?
In their undying loyalty.
But she did. This is the tea. She came. This is real tea. This is not gossip. This is factual. Taylor Swift herself came out with a statement because 1989 Taylor's version came out yesterday.
100% from Pitchfork and every other outlet, which is totally valid.
This is true. Taylor said in her statement with 1989, the prologue, she said, before that was my tweet to get the Swifties
despicable
to get them off my back. She said, when creating this album 1989, I wanted people to shut up, so I swore off dating and I took on the satire. So if you listen to Blank Space, the nice to meet you, where you been? I can show you incredible things. That whole song where she's like, you're the next on my list. I'm crazy. I'm
I've
insane.
heard of it in department stores before.
The best song of all time.
It is satirical.
Many people are saying.
It's satirical because
Pitchfork
she was like,
gave it a 10 out of 10.
if they are calling me crazy, then like I'll play into that character and I'll make $1 million off that song. So that's why she wrote
Oh my god. This song is going in.
Blank Space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she went into 1989 not dating anyone, swearing it off. In her statement, she was like, so I became friends with girls and I made up for lost time for like friends I didn't have when I was younger. And I never thought that people would sensualize and sexualize those relationships, but they still found a way to do it. So fuck you, Gaylors. I said it.
Well, written in the face of these two right there.
Sounds like a beard.
Taylor said, see you later. No, stop.
It's
Yeah, I mean, speculating about someone being gay is like, it's like the next step to the transvestigations, right? Like after transvestigations, they have to do gay vestigations, bi vestigations. You know, no one's safe.
It's so sad how society is so unforgiving of queer relationship, like women on women love.
Listen, here's what it is.
That famous prominent women can still they still have to hide the truth.
Shut up.
Here's what I think it is.
Fucked up.
Uh-huh.
I think the reason the Gaylors exist for many people, gay, straight, Taylor Swift's music and her lyrics are a mirror. So you hope to find a piece of yourself. So I would assume many of the Gaylors had some personal interest tied to her sexuality or her hiding something, and it spoke to them.
Well,
so listen.
Now you think I'm gay?
I know, but you are. I know you're gay.
You're a gay T?
I don't think
Ludwig's your beard.
I don't think Taylor Swift is gay or bad or anything.
Gay.
I just think it's a mirror to fans.
No. The reason why they think she's gay is there are pretty fucking damning lyrics about...
Girl, you already gave us a slideshow. I remember it.
Yeah.
Your evidence was bullshit.
No. That was John Mayer.
I'm going with Gandhi.
Okay. Wait. You just turned. You just said that. Okay.
Things are moving at an alarming pace.
I have to say this. That was confusing. She has some songs with some lyrics that, like, you listen to them and you're like, there's no way this isn't about Karlie Kloss. But that's the thing. Friend breakups are like sometimes more hurtful than real breakups.
Wouldn't know about it.
No, that's 100% real. A friend breakup they hurt so much more. Like that's real. Like even as a queer person, like friend breakups hurt a lot more. I don't know why.
Okay. So when
10 years going strong, gay as fuck.
As good of a writer as she is, like she's a great writer.
Yeah.
Now kiss.
She can turn friend breakups into what sound like breakup songs. And so people are like, oh, they were in love. Bitch, it was friend breakup.
I like her argument being she's too good at music.
She is.
That's why people that's why
people think she's gay.
She was too compelling.
I'm gonna stay up on Twitter for a week after this episode.
Oh my god.
Now listen, I was
too
willing
good
to
at
go to
storytelling.
war with the Swifties for you, but you were the one that wanted peace very nobly. So we request a peace, Swiftie fan base. We back you, we support you, we love you.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Where your friend bracelets high?
1989.
They're not going to watch to this part, Will.
19. Yeah, they already.
They already.
I said fuck you, Gaylors, and they got pissed.
Yeah, they already.
They're
clipped
already
the
at my
first
house.
part of it. Yeah.
Well, we already said we're Gaylors, so
They are Gaylors. They represent you, so.
we go.
We're Sweden.
Does anybody have a spoon?
I don't represent you. I represent love.
Oh boy.
Women love women.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's crazy that you actually had a spoon.
That's
I have
crazy.
many.
Thank you so much.
Thought you were a foe. What? You put on a Barbie costume, all of a sudden you're an ally.
They
I
didn't
eat at
include
my
a spoon.
desk all the time. I lead a very lonely life.
Incredible things.
Taylor on 1989, she has a vault track that's about Harry Styles, and holy shit, is it spicy?
Is it
Whoa, give us the tea, sis.
What did it talk about?
Give us the
That's my
tea,
wig.
sis. Come on, Barbie.
Do you know her PR?
He's really embodying like the blonde energy like so well.
person too?
Yeah.
Austin. Okay, Austin. Look at him.
In between texting and eating soup, he dropped a banger.
Damn.
Yeah, so my hairstylist talked to Harry Styles' PR and said this song is about him. No, this is one of the lines is let me find it. When I'm starting to find it.
This is really good.
Yeah.
His fries are God.
Yeah. They're fried with like very clean oil. I feel like it's got funnel cake feel.
They almost don't even count.
I've
love
lost more
fries.
calories eating it.
I read celery fries.
Yeah. I wanted sweet potato and they gave me regular. It's fucking bullshit.
Oh, gross. So you just gotta eat them all.
Yeah. It's just like, get it out of my sight, bitch.
Get it out of my fucking thigh.
Man, I want fries so bad, but I'm supposed to be cutting back on carbs, and I eat so many potatoes. I don't know, like, I need to restructure my entire diet.
Is this how girls are?
No.
Yes.
You guys were in college. You went to fraternities. And was this how sorority girls were?
I don't know what you're talking about, bitch. This is how every girl is.
No.
Fuck.
You guys are. This has been a not beneficial episode for girls.
We've demonstrated more girl power than Margaret Thatcher, bitch. Come on.
Margaret Thatcher.
Why are you saying that?
You want to
Are
fuck
you
her
gonna
too?
find this song lyric, or do I need to help you with your geriatric ass thumbs?
Come on, girl, get to clicking.
Oh
Your
God.
mouth was doing all
They're ruthless. Oh my God. Cutthroat.
the work earlier when you were slandering Taylor.
I was never slandering Taylor.
Yes, you were. You said it was a PR relationship.
Okay. She says, if she's got blue eyes, I will surmise that you'll probably date her. You dream of my mouth before it called you a lying traitor. You search in every model's bed for something greater.
Oh. To be fair, he's British, so that's a big L.
You can interpret that two ways.
Why?
Carly
One,
Claus.
that he's a bad guy who sleeps around. Or two, that he's laying pipe.
That's true.
Oh, God. Son of a bitch.
Harry Styles? You think Harry Styles is laying pipe?
Laying pipe.
Just
Yeah, I
fucking
think he's laying
Python.
pipe. I do.
Do you think he's
You
receiving
think so?
pipe?
Harry
Hey,
Styles?
yo.
Nah.
Now
he's-
you're a hailer.
Hey,
I think he's no.
Hey, Gary.
I think he's too much of like a. Oh, am I bi? I don't know.
I don't know.
Fucking yeah. Do I like
don't
sucking
know.
cock? Don't know.
I'm so ambiguous. I need
Yeah.
to have promiscuous sex with like 50 women.
Yeah, it's too much like
It's
that
the
for him to be
endless
gay.
pursuit.
I don't look.
Yeah, no, literally,
Harry-
it's too marketable. Like
Harry
his
Styles.
ambiguity.
Harry Styles isn't
Oh my God, they're just gossiping, and I'm here for it.
my type, really.
I
Oh,
like Harry
dude,
Styles.
but fuck, he's gonna be so bummed. I'm gonna tell him later.
This is going to be bigger than her thing on
Yeah.
stage.
I mean, I'd fuck him, but
Oh, thank God. Thank God. You're going to throw him a bone?
I'll throw him a bone. Yeah.
Wow.
I'd fuck Harry Styles. Why
These
not?
wigs have changed us.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you
I'm
guys are gonna have to start wearing wigs.
I'm
soon.
going to wear it all the time. Yeah.
What else is going on? I'm bored.
I
Entertain me, bitch.
I went. Oh,
Oh.
you go.
I mean, I have something, but it's not very relevant to
God.
anything.
That's
It's
fine.
about
it's a
dicks?
podcast.
No, it's not about dicks. I am in big trouble.
Why?
I stole my washer and dryer.
What?
And they broke, and now I can't get them fixed because if I call the people, they'll know that I stole them.
Why are you admitting?
I'll
to
bite.
this?
How the fuck did you steal a washer and dryer?
Well, when I moved a couple years ago, the people put the washer and dryer in my house, and they told me I had to pay for them, and I just never did.
Okay. And you left with them.
No, they're in. They put them in. It was a new place.
They installed them.
They installed them, but they didn't charge me for them, and they said you need to call the people.
You need to call the police.
No, you need to call them, and you need to get them fixed, or excuse me, you need to pay for them. And I never called them.
Just hire a private handyman.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
That took 2 seconds to
Yeah.
fix.
That's
Wait.
crazy because you're the one that's supposed to be able to fix this stuff.
Wait, no, but this is like a very specific brand. It's
So?
like
No.
it's like a Samsung or something.
Oh.
Very specific brand.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's giving me error
No,
codes.
no,
and I don't know.
no one knows how to fix Samsung.
Yeah, it's a rare.
Wait, so you just
No,
hire-
yeah, you're right. That's an old vintage brand that no one knows how to service. Bro.
hire a generic mechanic and I won't have to pay
Samsung,
for
isn't
it.
that a rare Scandinavian brand?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I've
it's like
never heard of
Wolf
them,
for
actually.
kitchen appliances. It's like you have to get.
Is
the
that bad
technician.
that should I pay for this?
Yeah.
I didn't mean to steal it. I forgot.
Well, you can just
We
hire a
still remember.
handyman.
Okay. I'll call. You know what? I'm gonna go pay for him.
No, you won't.
You're not gonna pay for it. There's no shot you pay for it.
Next topic, cutie.
Sorry. Well, what's going on?
Yeah. What else is going on in the world?
Uh,
What else do you want to lie about?
Yeah.
How about you change the name of your podcast to Lie About It?
Ooh, I like that.
Give it here.
Got him.
Yeah.
Let's move.
He's so proud of himself. Oh my god.
I went to Jeanette McCurdy to the
dying.
show.
I'm dying.
I don't know who that is.
Are we supposed to know who Jeanette McCurdy is?
Yeah, she's from iCarly. She just wrote the book. I'm glad my mom died.
What the fuck? Is she glad her mom died? It's kind of fucked up.
Why is she glad her mom
it's
died?
good her mom died because she was a child actor and her mom used to force her to work and like also used to like shower her until she was like 17 and like
Oh,
enabled
God.
an eating disorder. Like it was like
The
really,
fuck?
really
Jesus
dark
Christ.
stuff.
It
Yeah.
takes a
Oh, Jesse, you're still there? Because I asked Homo for the links and I got them. I got them for you. I'll just drop them to you in Discord. Then either way. Yeah, for like studies on masking and distancing.
It's a lot to be talent to create talent like that, I guess.
Yeah, she's been through the ringer.
Okay,
I will say.
I gotta see. I can't see in these fucking things.
You don't have to. No one made you wear the glasses.
All right, I know.
That's a strong book title.
Yeah.
He was so cunty in them, though. He was living.
I'm glad but her mom was evil essentially, and
Was her performance good?
well, that was the interesting thing. So I went with a friend.
You can't say it's bad. Her mom died and she abused her.
Well, this isn't. Their performance has nothing to do with that.
Mm.
So we thought it was stand up.
Oh.
So me and my friend go. We wait outside. You go in and they collect your phones.
Yeah, they put them in a bag.
Cool. Yeah.
They did that.
I've always wanted to throw a party with that. So the reason they do that is if someone owns the rights to your intellectual property and it's a live show and they plan on doing a broadcast of it later, they'll seize phones and that will be like a way of controlling the media.
So when
from
I
making-
start doing more stand up later, I should start doing that.
Yeah.
much more stand up.
Yeah.
How did you?
Don't say it like that.
Yes.
I mean, at this
I wish that she recorded the stand up. I think it was just live and that was all.
point, at this
You
point,
guys
don't
didn't
worry.
even come watch me. You didn't even come watch.
Yeah.
I was busy.
Lots of people laughed. They laughed every time.
Yeah.
We should all
If
do
only someone
stand-up.
if only someone had filmed it on their phones, then we could know if it happened or not.
Anyway, I go to her show.
Pictures where it didn't happen.
They collect your phones. She did 4 shows. She only posted about it on Twitter or Instagram. So it was a really small show. There's only 100 seats.
You're a big McCurdy head, huh?
No, my friend is.
That's
that I went
weird.
with. I don't know. She liked her book, and we thought it was stand up, and so we're like, that could be interesting. And we go, and they collect our phones. We sit down. It is not stand up. It is like Jeanette walks in the room. She's like in her PJs, and she like told on Instagram, she's like, wear your PJs. Everyone be comfy tonight. Okay. So we wear PJs. So she walks in, and she's like, so it's very like, it gave me like very like artist. Like she was like, every show is different. Every show is a snowflake. I don't know what we're gonna talk about the next hour and a half. It's like a live podcast almost.
I feel like
but terrifying because it's one person.
I feel like famous people, like actually
Hmm.
famous people, not fucking losers like us. They have like they operate on a totally different plane of existence.
It was crazy.
Like,
It was,
what the
so
fuck?
brave.
I
To
feel
walk
like
in and say, I don't know what we're gonna talk about for the next hour and a half.
Was it good?
I mean, that's
Well-
kind of what I do every day.
Wow.
there you go.
I'm gonna explain it. It was fascinating.
Sure.
So it was
Because-
really good.
Well, I don't know. So
Is that like it's like a stream of consciousness type podcast? Because like those can go like well or not. I think it depends on like how much preparation has gone into it. Because like even if you're doing a stream of consciousness type beat, like you need to have like somewhat of a plan up there.
essentially what happened, and I say this with all respect in the whole wide world to Jeanette McCurdy. She's been through some shit. So first starts by, if they take your phone away, are you allowed to talk about it? Like, is it mean of me to talk about it right now?
You can talk about
you
it.
can talk about it.
Okay, so
You can't leak
I mean, did you sign an NDA? I think otherwise it's fine.
specific bits or anything.
no, there
like
was
that.
there was no bits. That's what's
Damn.
that's what's
Kind of a
interesting.
bit in and of itself.
Yeah.
Oh. Am I gonna get in trouble?
No.
No.
Are the
cutie.
McCurdy's gonna come
oh
after
my
me?
God. The McCurdy
Terrifying.
heads.
The
Hear
McCurdy
me.
heads?
Canceled.
So she starts telling stories about the cover of her book.
Yo, from Port Lizzie. Hi, Stachia.
Super interesting. Everyone's laughing. She then starts talking about like boundaries, and she makes some jokes with people in the audience about like boundaries in their relationships. And then she gets at the end. She's starting a podcast soon, so maybe we could get her on at some point. I don't know. Who knows? You know, could be good promo.
Be cool.
She's starting a podcast soon.
That would be interesting.
And so she goes, "Okay, guys, we have about 30 minutes left.
Bless you.
Audience, do you want to talk
yeah.
about
Jake, did you read this book?
funny ads for my podcast I'm doing? Or do you want to talk about when you're in a relationship and he has a female friend?" And so then, of course,
The relationship female friend.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Funny ads.
Yeah.
I would
Wait,
like
what
to
was
hear
that?
funny ads.
oh,
Relationship. If you're in a relationship and he's got a female friend.
Oh, it's Jeanette McCurdy is doing a podcast, but I was referring to the one she wrote about her mother. I thought you told me about it, but maybe not.
Cares.
everyone in the audience.
I want to know about funny ads.
Yeah, See? well-
Tell me she talked about funny ads.
Everybody wants to know. We should talk about that too.
Everybody wants to know. So everyone, so the
That's
audience
a big
is like,
bummer. I would have walked up and left.
If
at that
my
point.
partner won't let me
Yeah, I wanted to read it too. I just haven't got the chance.
have female friends, I will not be with them.
Lifetime movie. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone wants to hear the story. She clearly has tea attached to this, right? So everyone's like, female friends. And so she starts it off jokingly. She's like, this bitch fucking, says her name. I don't care to spread the name or anything like that.
Okay, Hassan Minhaj. Sorry, keep
I don't
going.
know what that means.
Don't worry about it.
She's gonna tell us how her dog got anthrax too.
So my makeup
damn.
artist, no, she, so she like tells a story about how her boyfriend has been friends with this girl for 12 years and they've only been dating for 7 years, her and her boyfriend. But
Sure.
this girl's always given her just a feeling, which happens. That can happen.
What?
Like just something, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you get like, not good vibes. And so everyone's like, oh shit, that sucks. Like, girl, that sucks. And then they were,
I don't know what she means actually. I'm kind of confused. Sometimes, when women just make you throw up. What?
or like someone in the audience, because they were just yelling out, because it felt like just kind of like a conversation, was like, well, what's his opinion on it? And she was like, oh, well, he's here. And so like a friggin' Maori show, she has him come down.
Oh, how cool is that?
Well, it got really uncomfortable really quick. So
awesome.
awkward.
That's awesome.
That's so awkward. I don't want to watch that IRL live. No, thank you.
So awesome. There was no phone.
I would be so mad.
I was so uncomfortable. I don't
I'd be
think he was
so-
mad.
Wait, you would be mad in the audience?
No, I would be mad if my girlfriend called me up on stage to berate me about some personal grievance she had
It-
during the show.
it sounds like
Oh,
it-
of course. Yeah, break up with her.
So
Well, they've been together 7 years.
I mean, it's awesome if you're in the audience. Ooh.
I think there's a sunk cost fallacy to relationships. I think you should treat just about every day the same. If someone would violate things that you wouldn't accept on day 1, you shouldn't accept them on year 7.
Wow. That's a good.
Give me an example.
True.
Calling you on stage to bitch about what is probably one of your
Yeah.
oldest friends in front of.
Yeah, that's that's way too much. That's way too much. Like, unless it was like very pre-planned, like you're definitely putting someone on the spot there. That's so uncomfortable for like basically everyone.
Of a live audience where you can't defend yourself.
Well, I agree with that's an awful thing to do on any day of a relationship.
Can you
I was
imagine
arguing with you
airing
at all.
out your grievance in front of a audience of people that paid to see you?
I wouldn't
so
do
they're
that.
obviously
So they're
going to be
clearly fans of
sycophantic.
you,
Yeah.
I would never do that.
That's wild.
I would never do that to my
So
partner.
what?
I said, yeah, like cutie, sycophantic Jenna McCurdy fans.
Well, so he goes down there, and it's like, this is a bad idea. Like my friend that I went with, we immediately looked at each other. We're like, this is a bad idea. Like if she wants to gossip,
Didn't resolve well.
Well, wait.
Oh boy.
So yeah, so it's like if you want to goss, tell your goss story, whatever, and then you and your boyfriend can talk about it later, right? Like, just keep it light and fun and whatever. Goss, like
You told her to shut up and dribble.
The issue.
Stick to the basics, bitch.
With bringing no.
Make me laugh, monkey man.
The issue with bringing the boyfriend down is like the parasocialness of it makes it so much more like now.
How
we're
big is this room?
Choosing sides.
Not that
There's
big.
only 100 people.
He had to have
Still
agreed to
kinda
this
big.
beforehand.
No,
he
did not.
Fuck no.
Really?
Yeah, so he got down there and I would say he handled it as best he could. He was like, I feel bad coming down here. This is your show. This should be about you. And she's like, no, they deserve to hear your side too. And it's like,
Oh God.
and
This doesn't seem like a healthy relationship.
well, I think it is. That's what's confusing.
I can't wait for the sequel. I'm glad my boyfriend's dead.
I think it is a really healthy relationship because you can tell they've had this conversation like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is getting swept away in doing live shows and trying to treat your audience like
something
friends.
honest about your first assessment, that there's something very brave about that. Like being so candid, being so, open and honest about your relationship. But at the same time, that just feels like such an ambush.
What if you have a female friend that doesn't respect the boundaries of your relationship?
Not my friend then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
listen, I'm gonna be honest. I don't have many female friends.
No, boundaries are important, and people should always respect them. And if they don't, then it's not a great friend to have,
Friends.
And just us.
Well, part of it is like I hold all my friends to the same standard, right? And I do think that there are lines that are a lot harder to establish with like a female friend in certain instances, but my female friends and I are like tight, you know what I mean? I rely on them the same way I would my guy friends. There's no like weirdness there.
I don't have a lot of girlfriends.
Okay.
I wish I had more. Well, I mean, yeah. I have mostly all exclusively men in my life. Yeah. Typically. Judy's one of my only girlfriends.
So are you guys anti opposite sex friends or
same sex
friends?
I think for me, if my partner has a friend, they have to respect the boundaries of our relationship.
yeah, as long as there's no boundaries crossed, live your best
Yeah.
life.
But what if that friend came first?
It doesn't matter.
I don't think
They need to respect the boundaries of our relationship. Period.
Well, I mean, boundaries. If they are disrespecting your boundaries, sure. If they are in beef with your significant other, your SO, I have friends that if my SO got into it with it, I'd be like, well, you better reassess your fucking direction because that person's known me since I was 6.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see. If my partner didn't like them, like I got my best friend Kirk.
Yeah.
If somebody didn't like.
Yeah, like if my best friend doesn't get along with my partner, like that's a red flag, honestly. They're probably right. Like they're not jaded by their rose-tinted glasses of love.
Like Kirk for who Kirk was.
Yes.
I mean, I would never.
There you go.
That would be,
Right.
there would be, they'd have to deal with it. But on the same front, like you said, where you just say they wouldn't be my friend, I don't think whoever I would choose as a partner would feel that way about my best friend. I think they would want to support me and have my best friend.
You'd be surprised. Especially
I haven't
sometimes when
encountered
you
it
have
yet.
really old friends. When you have friends that go way back, like your SO will almost be like, not in my current relationship, but I've had this happen in my life, will be like jealous of how tight you are.
Like even Guy, like have people been jealous about how tight you and Hassan are?
Sure.
Oh, we were just talking about one
Oh,
literally
really?
half an hour ago before we started.
Yeah, interesting.
We both had girlfriends at the same time.
For instance, I would never let my girlfriend finish inside me.
What?
Wait,
Trying to
huh?
do Barbies.
Oh. You would never let your girlfriend finish inside you?
Yeah, I'm not trying to get
I'm
pregnant.
wouldn't.
just making a joke.
I thought it was fun.
I'm not trying to get pregnant, bitch.
That's right.
What
No,
do you
I'm
mean?
just
Do
saying.
you see this
I've
physique?
definitely experienced that, and like I think.
Oh my god.
If you get into a relationship, I'm very cognizant about maintaining my friendships when I get into a relationship, because I feel like if you start breaking off friendships for a relationship, you can get isolated in your own head, and things that person expects from you can become way more normal. Like the more you isolate yourself in a relationship, the more you lose perspective.
You're literally describing how narcissistic people end up isolating their partners deliberately and push them away from their friends and family so that they are hyper reliant on that single individual. Yes. That's a telltale first sign of abuse. For those of you who don't know at home. Let's go, sisters. We are not here for abuse, okay?
We are not.
You don't snap. You abuse Taylor Swift. Everyone should remember that.
I did.
Abuse was not very slay queen. Stop.
Not what?
Yeah, let them have their moment.
What? We agree. No abuse.
No abuse. Oh yeah, no, we totally agree on that.
This is our episode now.
No
You
abuse.
know what I've gotten addicted
Wait,
to
let me
recently?
finish.
Let's talk
What is
about
happening?
Anyway, so he gets down there and he tells his side.
Right.
And the issue is, as soon as he tells his side, the whole audience is kind of on his side. Because like he sits down there and he's like, I've been friends with her for 12 years. She's a psychiatrist. She got me into therapy. She was there for when
We like therapy.
my mom was going through some things, and she got like she helped me get her help, and like
Oh my God, combo
and
breaker.
then Jeanette goes, what about the affair?
Oh.
But then he goes, her husband cheated on her.
Oh.
So she's not the causer of an affair. Like that doesn't make like.
Wait, so
why would she care about his friend getting cheated on?
Oh, so she
I don't, because I think she was bringing
Marsh,
it up.
can I have something wet
I think she was.
to drink?
Ayo.
I think she was bringing it up as a way of like
Cold.
oh my God.
Soda.
Oh my God.
Wow, the one time we behave like Austin, everybody hates it, huh? Straight white men are being... Straight white men are under attack.
Do you have a fresh cold water in there?
True.
Well, I'm sure
I don't
there's
like when he does it either, for the record.
What? I'm charming when I do it.
No.
That is really interesting.
So I think she brought up as a point of being like she's not a trustworthy person, but in reality that was like.
She's not a trustworthy person because she got cheated on?
Yes, I don't think I did the line.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It was weird. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, no, she's just jealous.
It was
She's at fault and she's jealous.
It was just a strange. It just sucked. It just sucked because the whole audience is kind of like, okay, why are we sitting here? Like this was like it was just like like I want to be on your side.
Did she
Jeanette,
make
but, like,
any good points?
just that.
If I would have enjoyed that.
Can we let? Can we
I would
I
have really
think
finish.
her best point is that sometimes you do have like just like women's intuition, like just a bad feeling about somebody.
That's not a good enough excuse.
I know, but it's not.
12-year relationship
I
who
know.
like been through tough times.
Well, and the girl,
women's
the
intuition.
the girl is married with kids, even though they had the affair. They're still together. Like,
Okay, that's even more insane.
I
Every
know,
single thing I
it
found
just-
out about this woman and and
this
the
is
partner
crazy.
leads me to believe that Jeanette McCurdy is absolutely in the wrong. What's next? You're gonna be
Yeah, like I don't know. This all seems very fucked up.
like, and also she brought up the fact that she saved an entire orphanage.
Yeah.
it was.
It was on fire.
And she used it as she obviously has attention-seeking behavior.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
God.
narcissistic that she saved an entire orphanage that was on fire.
It was like sad because clearly this has bothered her for a long time. So there's deep-rooted insecurity somewhere, right? So it's like this is really sad.
I mean, well, she was like abused by
I
her
know.
mom.
So I think like that's where it comes from. But we're all sitting there, and this is just like this is too serious for a live show. It feels like.
Yeah, this
And-
is really
and-
close to the bone.
And then,
Yeah.
and then someone, because now it's awkward because they're sitting there just kind of like, if it wasn't awkward before. So then someone in the audience says this. He raises his
He's
hand
doing therapy in front of a bunch of people.
and he says, I feel like kind of bad talking about this. Should I not be talking about it? I just
No,
feel-
talk about it.
I just don't know if
Speak
it's like,
on it,
if I'm
sister. This
sharing
is women
too much.
speaking on it. That's the name of the show.
It's just like it was just a fascinating experience, genuinely. Like that's all I can say about it overall. So then someone in the audience, they raise their hand and they say to the guy, I don't know his name, Bill. He was like, Bill, don't you feel guilty when you hang out or talk to Ashley because you know how much it bothers Jeanette. Don't you feel guilty? Like, don't you feel bad? And then Jeanette immediately breaks down, starts sobbing.
Oh my God.
And
Oh my
she's
God.
like, she says that. Yeah, that. Like that. She's like, can I give you a hug?
Fucking simp ass, parasocial ass
guy-
motherfuckers in the crowd, dude. Literally defending.
This is
That's
psychotic,
crazy.
The guy in the audience gets up, goes down, gives her a
The
hug.
drama.
For like a while. Like, it's the whole audience is just like,
That's so crazy.
it was just.
Were they applauding?
Yo, people in
No.
Hollywood
I-
are so mentally ill. It's
So
awesome.
I actually, when I was much younger, was there for something just like this at Laugh Factory. I was there the night Dane Cook had his like meltdown and got into a huge beef with TJ Miller. That's his name. Miller. It was wild.
What
Damn,
happened?
that's a
I don't
mid
know
off, dog.
Not at the time.
Yeah, I'm
At the time,
saying.
that's
Dane Cook was my favorite comedian at a certain
Yeah,
point.
yeah. So this was right after Dane's brother stole like a ton of money from him.
Huh?
And he went on stage, and at the time I was the intern at the Laugh Factory, and he bumped Bobby Choi. Is that his name? Please look this up. I always forget. He's on a podcast too, and he's actually hilarious.
Oh, Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee. I'm so sorry. I fucked up his last name. Bobby
Yeah,
Lee.
that's friends with Ethan too.
Yeah. Bobby Lee is hilarious. This dude's hilarious. And if
Yeah.
I'm remembering this all correctly, and you got to remember, this is like years and years and years ago, and I was a baby. Bumped Bobby Lee, and Bobby Lee was like, fuck, because when you're like a giant comedian, you shouldn't bump people and go on before them because the audience, da-da-da-da. And then he proceeded to do a very long set that was super dark, and he was just like tearing into the audience. And
Dane
it was
Cook
like
did?
Yeah, it was like a Twitter beef between him and it was.
Oh no. Dane Cook did something distasteful? Shocking.
It was wild, man. It was a long back and forth, but it was like you described. Like you could feel the audience getting like more and more tense, and it was like, what are we looking at? This is weird. Yeah.
It made me feel like, it felt like a fever dream, genuinely, and I never use that sentence because I see so much that I'm like, nothing feels like fever dream anymore. Like, it's just, life's crazy. But like sitting there, it was just like, and then she stopped the hug, she went back, and she was like, well, I guess we have a lot to talk about. That's the end of the show. Thanks, guys.
That's
gotta
so
leave
weird.
one more.
What were people's reaction? Like, could you like, what the fuck was that?
It's gonna be like just drama bait, right? I don't know. That's weird.
Everyone, I think I walked out with my friend and we were both just like, I felt like we shouldn't have seen that. And then the people behind us were literally like, yeah, I don't think that felt way too personal. Like, so it was like, but maybe that's what she wants. That's why I don't want to like condemn it or anything.
Maybe it's a part of her genius.
I can't tell if it's performance art or if she's just fucking lazy and has a penchant for
she
drama.
wants us to talk about
Well,
it.
this is the weird thing.
Penchant.
Tickets were only $15.
Oh.
She's not making money off of
Penchant.
this. That's why I
No.
think it's genuinely just art.
About what, 15?
$100 or 100 seats, $15. That's $150.
No, it's
Right?
1,500.
That's $1,500.
$1,500.
Math.
That's a one-way
That's-
ticket from LA to
Yeah, but
It's like $1 trillion.
Miami with business
think
class.
the venue at least cost in LA for 2 hours.
Maybe
at
she
least
knows the owner.
Yeah, no, it was probably
$900.
Well,
I don't
she's
know.
not making any money. Yeah, I agree.
It's interesting.
She's not making any money from that.
I think
so I'm just
one
like,
thing
what
we can all
was it?
relate to that with, though, is like when you perform enough, sometimes your performance can become therapeutic.
Yeah.
And it just felt like maybe she just was doing a little bit too much
It
therapy
felt like
on
those
stage.
Twitch streams where like you click in and you're like, oh, end stream, or even yourself. Sometimes you're like, I've got end stream. I'm sharing too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fascinating. That's all I can say. It was such an interesting experience.
Yeah, it's so fucking lowbrow commentary and such lowbrow content that this is what we do normally.
Wait, what?
We overshare.
We do
I'm saying
overshare.
like
Do
what
we?
you watched was essentially a fucking train wreck Twitch stream.
I did watch
Up close and
Yeah.
personal.
You feel like you overshare,
And it does happen all the time on Twitch.
Hassan?
I don't know.
Have you ever been around a friend that you just realize is like having a breakdown? That is wild. That's like a wild experience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think everyone here has had a breakdown.
Like on this podcast?
On the podcast, even.
No, I'm not talking
He
about
means
like
breakdown.
I had a
breakdown.
I mean like breakdown.
He had a breakdown.
I broke down on the podcast.
Yeah, you
we,
did.
we cut that. Nobody knows this.
Yeah.
We can cut this again.
No, we don't have to cut it.
Dude, that wasn't like a breakdown.
I started crying.
He cried
That
on
was
the
definitely a
podcast.
breakdown.
I started crying.
I mean, my
I've never seen him. I've never seen him cry before.
Because you were mad at us for joking at you because the comments had been excessively mean towards you.
And I started
about
crying.
the sticker.
You were worried about the.
Well, everybody was really getting on me about the Disney sticker, and they were like, we had been. I gave Cutie a Disney sticker.
They remember.
I was not going to. I was not going to bring it up.
And they were so mean to me. They're like, "You're a shitty, fucking piece of shit human. Fuck you. How awful it would be to be his friend." It was just like very shit that cut deep. And so people were so mean to me, and then I thank you. I started crying on the podcast because the comments really started to cut deep, and we had to cut the whole section out of the podcast. Will had to leave.
Yes, I did.
And I started crying.
I felt so bad.
So
I left with
Yeah, Will was
crying.
like texting me like, "Dude, is he all right?"
There was a I don't know what episode it was, but it's clear there was like a clear 40-minute cut.
Yeah, I like wondered a few times, like what was that cut?
Comes back and you're just like,
No, I came back and I was like, oh, sorry, Ludwig called or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that. But yeah, no, I completely
Good
lost
save.
it. That was my mental breakdown.
I've never had a mental breakdown.
No, you haven't. That I've seen.
Teflon Don, baby.
Will was the best at handling it. Both Hassan and I were like, are you okay?
You've never had a
Will gave
breakdown
me a
on stream,
massage.
but you've definitely had some break. Dude, day one, London, that trip, you were having a breakdown.
Was I?
You don't remember that? I can't make any fucking content. This trip is ruined. I made you all do it. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Oh,
It was like,
yeah.
oh, dude.
Travel Hassan, you have a breakdown every time we travel.
I hate traveling.
It's because you fucking he rolls into the airport with like 3 duffel bags over his shoulder that have like a computer and a monitor, and
everything
nothing
falls
works.
apart.
Everything falls apart. He's like cramped up in the corner of this
Always trying to do too much.
fucking hotel room.
You have anxiety breakdowns.
Yeah.
You have stress breakdowns. I get like Eeyore. I'm
Yep.
just like, I might as well be dead. I wish
Yep.
you would just strangle me to death.
Yep.
Just pull me apart like tissue paper. And
I
you're just,
disassociate.
yeah, dude. That's okay.
I'll just be gone.
We're all mentally ill.
We're the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
We really are all
We
mentally
are
ill.
Real.
4 horsemen
And that's why we love you so much.
of the mental apocalypse.
Yeah, this is. We really.
That's why we work, though, guys.
Yeah.
We need to bring.
That's why you're my best
Make
friends.
new friends, but keep the old. Some are
Cutie.
silver and the others
They're gold.
A circle
The
around, it has no end. That's
Somehow we are the best friends.
I have no idea what this song
It's a
is.
Girl Scout song.
Cutie, you're one of my good girlfriends.
Uh-huh.
You're my only
I
girlfriend.
thought you were going somewhere with it.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh,
I wouldn't
good.
want to lose you.
I wouldn't want.
I'm not going to die.
No, I mean,
I'm not
like,
gonna die.
if my partner
make you so
was
anxious.
like, I don't like kitties and
If Caroline all of a sudden was like, stop hanging out.
God, what
with
if I
Cutie.
what if I
I'd
had a
have words
boyfriend
about
that
it.
what if I had a boyfriend that was jealous of you guys? That'd be crazy.
Well, I mean,
That would be crazy, but also just like not healthy. You know, like it would not be fun. He's like fantasizing.
Hassan and I mentioned that we had crazy girlfriends in the past, and your response was, I want that.
No.
And then we walked you through it.
I don't
do
want
not.
that anymore.
You do not.
I don't want a crazy boyfriend. I want a crazy boyfriend.
Men
just
don't.
like,
BPD is a woman thing.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I
I
mean,
think that's true.
I would like I want a crazy boyfriend, but like in certain aspects of the
You
relationship.
just want a sex fiend. That's all you want.
But yeah, I do. I think.
That's so wrong, though.
no,
yeah, like-
you don't know.
Wait, what's
no.
wrong with having a sex fiend as a boyfriend?
It's not even a sex.
Is it just
fiend,
a
but
lot-
like
is it a lot of
crazy
work?
person? It's not good.
But you can be good at sex and not be crazy.
I mean, yeah, some people have a high sex drive. I don't think that has to make you crazy, but the correlation, I don't know. There might be something there.
You want like a nympho though.
No, I mean, I'm not like, I think a lot of people think I'm like a sex addict, and that's just not true.
I don't think people think you're a sex
I don't
addict.
think people think that.
I don't think anyone's ever said
I
that.
think people just think.
I
you're
think you
horny.
want
Yeah.
people to think
Yeah,
that.
No,
about you.
I don't want people to think I'm a sex addict.
Yeah, I think you want people to think.
I haven't
you're
had sex in 3 days.
That is
Proud of
not
you, man.
how you break those allegations.
Yeah, I quit sex yesterday, so I'm good.
Proud of you, man. It's a big step.
Good
Wow.
job.
Fucking incel over here, you know?
Oh my god.
Do you
Crazy.
think that we will ever get to a point where sex has less weight?
Huh?
What's
Less
that?
weight.
I think it depends on the person.
Really, you don't think in like 20, 30 years you might just get, hey, how you doing, bud? You want to do a quick fuck?
Yeah.
Let's do a quick fuck.
Oh, you mean like gay sex?
No, I mean like just sex in general.
The question you're asking is, will men and women ever evolve to
'Cause,
the
like-
point where they have gay sex?
Because like dogs will just fuck in public, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What if I'm just like, hanging out at a party and I'm talking to someone? I'm like,
But
you want to just knock
Hassan,
one out?
Hassan is right. You're describing Grindr.
Yeah, you're describing
one out.
homosexuality.
Like
Am I gay?
the casual, the
The final
casual
evolution
the
of
I mean, or maybe you're just poly. I don't know.
casual
sexuality.
gay sex is so casual. You be on Grindr and be like, yeah, hey, you want to fuck? Well, I have a lunch meeting in 30 minutes. Great. We'll do
That's
it.
pretty cool.
We'll do it. We'll do it before
And
your
they do
lunch meeting.
sword fights.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody. I don't know anybody personally that.
What is Austin doing with these utensils? It's naughty.
I mean, I sword fight, but you could sword fight with me if you guys want to.
I'll take you up on that.
I mean, all right. Would you sword fight me?
Sword fight you?
That'd be kind of awkward.
I think you're gonna lose.
You think you're gonna stay soft the entire time?
What do you think?
Oh,
I haven't lost a sword fight yet.
Oh, really?
He's practicing.
I'm not gonna lose a sword fight.
That's the thing. Is Will Neff? You'll just be best at everything. You'll beat the shit. I won't even be able to use. Oh, you're gonna make me have erectile dysfunction from brute force trauma.
Oh my god.
My penis, I'm sorry.
We're talking about
It's
dicks
okay.
again.
That painting I made is so good.
Every time.
Just draw the
painted that?
ghost.
I painted.
Oh,
and
it's
the
Halloween.
moon.
We need to do something Halloween themed.
Oh yeah, tell me your spooky stories.
Do you guys?
The one with the ghost.
The ghost stories. Who
Oh.
cares? We'll tell.
Ghost stories on the Patreon.
Patreon ghost stories.
Also,
I got a gang
Let's
of
go.
good ghost
I
stories.
rolled my ankle
Let's go.
in my platform Crocs.
Damn, save the scary stories of the Patreon, girl. What the hell?
Do you think I should feel bad about talking Jeanette's thing? Like clearly maybe she didn't want people talking about it.
We're
That's why she
pretty
took her phone
we're
away.
pretty committed now.
I mean,
Yeah,
we'd have to
sorry.
record 40 minutes.
We fill 40 minutes of the space. You chose
I would
to
like
do
to
that.
make it very clear.
You know, we could have done Will
That it was-
exploring
that
acai
it was
bowls.
fascinating.
Yeah, I had acai bowls and I've been using a lot of face masks.
Yeah, he wanted to talk about both of those things, and you were like, "No,
cut
we're
me off
talking.
twice.
Oh my
this is the
God.
40-minute Jeanette McCurdy hour."
You steered the ship in Jeanette McCurdy when we were trying to bail you out
Yeah.
there, and now you're like, should I have talked about Jeanette McCurdy?
Will was like, "I tried something new," and I'm like, "Okay, come on."
What is an acai bowl? It's like yogurt and acai, but then like what else though? What I mean, I'm just not familiar. It sounds like some Cali shit.
Acai bowls. You're
Wait.
like, "Let me finish."
How long are you gonna go on an acai bowl?
I had 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
40, dude.
We
Tight
can
40.
listen. It was no Jeanette McCurdy.
Tight 40.
What do you got? Some good stuff.
I
you
think
know?
Jeanette McCurdy is very talented. It was a fascinating concept.
It's too late.
I've said it 1,000
Deo
times.
moi is gonna fuck you up.
Deo
They're
moi.
coming
I'm
back
not
for
relevant enough to get canceled this much.
you. Welcome to my life.
No, I'm not.
Big star.
I need
You're
more
a celebrity.
viewers to get canceled this month.
Welcome to my life.
You have 20K views. You have 40K viewers.
Excuse me. Yeah,
I've got
thank
2.
you. Thank you. You said
Look,
20K.
before we go, I need to mention something.
Oh boy.
All of these people in this room are going to be on Name Your Price in Long Beach, California. NYPLive.com to go buy your tickets. Hassan is so excited to be on the show.
I'm so excited.
Come see us live in person.
So excited.
NYPLive.com.
And that's the last episode of Name Your Price.
That is the last. It's the finale.
Oh, it's the finale.
It's the finale of Name Your Price. The
Nice.
last episode
What?
potentially.
Say
That was so
goodbye to Name
fast.
Your Price.
That's right. Potentially.
Forever.
We move on from Name Your Price.
No,
Yeah,
Will. hold on.
forever.
It's over.
There's always a chance there's another season.
Forever and ever,
It's
I heard.
gone forever.
No,
and ever.
Yeah.
we don't know that.
There will no longer be prices named.
Buy your tickets like it could be the last one.
Yeah. Which it will be.
No, it very well
It
could
will-
be.
Yeah, it's
But
probably.
most likely not, but it could be.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss out on YPLive.com.
I don't even look at prices anymore.
Yeah, because you just save it for Name Your Price.
Yeah, I feel like it's cheating.
All right, listen, I will come back.
NYP, just like NYPD. Coincidence? I think not.
Austin, I will come back for another season. If we rename it The Price You Name, and it's a Japanese game show.
Oh, I like that. I'll do it too.
Price You Name.
I'll do it as well. We got to wear like adult diapers.
It's an 80s Japanese game show. We both wear full Power Ranger armor as hosts, and the games are different every time, and they're all very abusive.
And it has nothing to do with pricing
Yeah.
or names.
Do the bug one. The one where
It's
you
just-
put the tube in the bug. You have to blow
Yes.
it.
Dude.
Bug tube. Also, Nerf crotch bat, where you wear it like a cup, and then someone just smashes you in the
All right, deal.
genitals.
Deal.
Okay, I got an idea.
Or
Catapult.
I'll buy a place in Los
Catapult
Angeles,
baby.
and then we'll
Catapult
Why?
baby.
Catapult baby.
You
That-
wear
I
you
like
wear a
that.
diaper, and whoever gets thrown the furthest wins.
I'll do another.
In a
You know what?
catapult.
I need a touring show next year. How about Fear and Stadium tour?
What, dude, you love touring so much.
I want
It's
to.
weird.
It's so easy.
What if we do
No, it's
what if
not.
we do an
You don't even make
intimate
that much money.
100-person show?
I make tons of money.
And
Yeah.
we pull up our significant others and we absolutely just dog them in front of the audience.
Yeah.
Perfect. I need to get.
Yeah.
I
Let's
need to get
go.
in a relationship then.
Easy.
It's cool. We're gonna have
Drama
fans.
hour.
We're gonna have fans assess our parasocial relationships with one another.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
a live dating show? All right.
All right,
Goodbye.
patreon.com/fearand. You can see the sexy episode behind the scenes.
It's gonna get spooky.
It's going to get spooky. It's
Awooga.
going to get sexy. We are going to probably call back the hotel, which hasn't given
Yep. It's very late, but we're gonna call.
any money back
Mhm.
after almost killing Marsh and Will Neff.
No money has been given back.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
See you later, guys.
Yeehaw.
I'm afraid.
I have been using
Oh, who's
face
calling me?
masks. Has anybody been using face masks?
I've been using
hold
face.
on.
Of
Can I
course.
answer this? It's my boyfriend.
Yes. Put him on speaker.
Boo.
Oh, he hung up.
He didn't
Classic.
hang up. I didn't push it
Oh, he hung
enough
up.
time. I didn't push it enough time.
Yeah, this is just like that one girl show.
Yeah.
Ask him about. if you
Hi,
have female
sorry, I'm
friends.
at Hassan's house.
For what?
Fear and.
Wait, why would she be here?
What would she be doing
For what?
at Hassan's house?
I don't know. Strange shit, but it's late as fuck. I didn't think you guys would be
Yeah, a little suspicious.
Sussy. Cheating on him with all three of them.
We normally do it
Yeah.
on Sundays, but Name Your Price is going on tour.
Name your price. All right. You're
We're
gonna be
having
on the show.
We're having gay sex and Cutie's here to watch.
Yeah. We call it the QTCinderella cuck chair.
I just, you just didn't text me that you're going or tell me. I should know.
Oh.
Whoa.
No, it should have a Curdy show.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry. I couldn't find my
Exposed.
keys anywhere. I was in a rush. I had to go get us costumes. It was a whole thing. But I should have texted you, and I was in the wrong there.
She was very inconsiderate.
Exposed.
I hope nothing, there's a lot of stuff that comes up in life gets between our loves, but.
Yeah. Oh.
That's
It's so Jover. It's so Jover. Speaking of Jover, I think that will be all for me tonight. Please do stick around for the raid. We're gonna go and see my friend Adrian Vixen. They're very cool, very comfy, very cozy. There it is. I hope you have a wonderful night. Drink some water and take care of yourself. I will be back on Wednesday. I gotta find some clips and edit them. So I will see you then. Bye-bye now.